What's going on, everybody? Cali Death Podcast back once again, episode 179. I'm your host, Anthony Trapani. Got a bunch of belching beavers with me tonight.
That was Joseph.
Yeah, we are here again, another Thursday night, and I'm with the a few of the resident homies, or a couple. Casey and Joseph is with me tonight. The gorilla is going to be absent. Had a banana overdose or something going on there, but we are here tonight with the guys from Exist. I got Charlie, I got Alex, and I got Max.
Nailed
What's
it.
going on, guys?
Thanks, man. Thank you for having us.
Nailed it.
Sick.
Dude, super sick to have you guys too. Alex and Max has been on the show. You guys have been on the show multiple times, and you guys are racking up your numbers again. I'm glad that I love comebacks. I love to catch up with all the old guests that have been on the show. And Charlie, you're a new guest.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being with us tonight, dude. Hell yeah. Wormhole sick.
Oh,
All
yeah.
right, let's
Repping
bust
Maryland.
nuts.
Yeah, Maryland.
Maryland? That's where you're at right now?
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Well, no,
Born and raised?
they're Maryland too. They're other Maryland homies of ours.
Nice,
Yep.
dude.
Shout
All right, let's rattle off some plugs real quick. You know where we're at, battleforgecoffee.com, always at the top, always the coffee we're going to tell you to go drink. You want to feel death metal in the morning and actually have a good cup of coffee and know you're supporting somebody from that scene. That's the place you go to, battleforgecoffee.com. The homies in Deeds of Flesh, they got a cool company going on there, and buy some merch too. I love their shirts. I use their mug every weekend. It's legit. And then generatorrehearsalstudios.com, Oceanside, California. That's a physical jam spot we would like you to go to if you want to jam in that area. You might run into some people that are affiliated with this show. All right. CaliDeathPodcast.BigCartel.com. Couple of t-shirts there. We never plugged the actual website. We have an actual website too, guys. It's just calideath.com. It's pretty sick that we got calideath.com.
Do we? I didn't even know that. I can't remember.
I mean, I guess
It hasn't been updated in a while.
Oh.
And I'm not calling out Professor, even though
I thought that
calling up
was our
Professor.
website.
It was
No,
It's,
it's yeah. You're putting me on the spot, but yeah,
Let's just-
sorry, dude.
We should just
But
forward
it's-
that over to the cartel one then.
It is affiliated with the show,
Nice joke.
But either
we
way,
got a website.
it was a project that came out along with the pod, and the pod got rolling, life got rolling, so it hasn't been updated in a while. But eventually, we could get some cool stuff up on there again.
I think
Don't know
having
what.
a period's a good idea. Like, I have a personal website myself that I haven't updated in a little while, but just the fact of it being there, and for people that might be searching me can find it really easily. Just anything at all, having it up there, I think is a good idea.
Totally,
Yeah.
dude. Like I said, the coolest thing about it is that we got calideath.com. That's it, dude.
And you didn't have to pay for it or buy it from somebody, because there's people
it's
that
just-
like scoop up a bunch of URLs and then try to Alex,
$10,000 a piece.
but nobody's using it, so I'd have to go buy it from somebody, which I don't really
Right.
do.
I don't know if we paid for that till or we update that payment on that
Yeah,
domain there. I don't think
I've been
it's
getting
up.
it. It's
I
still
gotta
up,
go.
If you're listening to
still
this,
up.
don't steal it from
What's
us.
going on with my
unless it's not. Let me check.
All right.
But
I'm
keep
like
rolling.
looking it up. I'm like,
Either way, all the other websites that I rattled off, those are places we also want you to go. Let's get some Exist plugs too.
By the way,
Yeah.
this whole time, I wasn't really listening to anything you were saying because
Yeah.
I've I listen to the podcast from time to time, and I've been on here a few times. I've never had Battle Forge coffee, and so I'm at the website right now buying it.
Hell
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
dude.
So the ad worked.
Yeah.
Sweet, dude. And I was gonna say the ad part's like the only real scripted part of me, I guess. Other
Yeah.
than, give me that, that one moment in your childhood. I feel like I say that it happens in my sleep. But you just get the ball rolling with it. You got to have some kind of structure in the beginning before we let this thing unravel into what it is every week.
Yes.
But Exist. Where do you guys want people to go involving Exist merch information and otherwise?
So merch is exist.bandcamp.com. So that's sort of our hub for anything to actually buy. Although we're about to open an 8 merch site too, but I don't have the URL for that right now. So
Yeah.
that's like a made to order sort of thing. So yeah, just exist.bandcamp.com for merch. And beyond that, I guess, we have a new album out, Hijacking the Zeitgeist. So that's the thing that we're trying to plug the most.
Totally, dude.
And also, I guess we weren't really, this is, I believe, getting announced next week, but we'll just spill the beans on here. We're also going to be doing a guitar contest with Ormsby Guitars, kind of teaming up
Giveaway.
to help. Yeah, we're doing a giveaway that's going to be like a soloing contest. So we'll just throw that out there for all our fellow
How do you get involved?
nerds. Yeah,
Just
who want to
video submissions. That's what.
we'll have we've got a whole set of like rules and stuff, and it's going to be like kind of all done over Instagram. But yeah, we're going to be giving away an Ormsby guitar.
Nice.
Mike Gilbert's going to win it.
Oh man, that's quick.
But somebody else can fight him for it.
Yeah, worthy battle. No, there's plenty of shredders out there. I don't know if he would ever even enter a contest, but yeah, that would be. I've always said he's the best guitar player that I know personally.
He's amazing.
Oh, dude. He's ridiculous. Watching him every night on the Cynic tour, just crushing it perfectly, like every night. Fuck
yeah, dude.
Anthony, you should submit playing Wish You Were Here solo. You should.
Yeah. If you do that,
he wins, dude.
Just the beginning rhythms, dude. That's all I can
well,
do.
you have to
Oh, you
play
gotta do the solo, the first one.
But it's the solo over our solo section that you do the contest over.
Not just any solo.
But it's in the same
Just send in
key.
your
You
How
keep it in
sick
the
would
key.
that be?
Oh,
That
it'd be
links
fucking
up, dude.
sick. Honestly, you should just play like the guitar intro before the solo over the solo section.
Dude,
Like an acoustic intro.
I need a guitar first.
Wait, do you get to
Oh,
make up?
shit.
You make up your own solo, or
It's like playing
Oh.
your own solo or
Oh, I wanna
improvising or
try.
writing.
That's
Yeah,
cool.
yeah, exactly.
Joseph,
Yeah, it's like all those like Horizon devices. They did that solo contest recently,
cool.
or like that kind of thing where you just make your own solo, film yourself, record it, send it in, and then
That's
we
a
pick
cool
one
idea.
that you like the best. So yeah, it doesn't have to be the shreddiest. So Anthony, man, fucking
It's all about feel, dude. That's all.
Yeah,
it is.
Anthony's one of like the 12 Exist fans who don't already play guitar really
Yeah,
yeah, right.
that's
Well, he
probably
does
pretty
play
accurate,
guitar.
dude.
I've heard about this.
No,
Wish You
he
Were Here
does
thing,
play
though,
guitar.
so-
Yeah,
he does
dude.
play
Yeah.
guitar.
It's a
good. I had to
legend.
add the qualifier on there. Sorry, Anthony.
yeah.
Felt bad about that, but I'm just saying you
He's
guys
being
have a pretty
sarcastic.
shreddy fan base. I'm assuming.
Yeah.
So.
Don't listen to him, man.
I
Don't
can-
let him bring you down.
I really can play that on acoustic, but that's just been the funny joke, dude. Is anytime I try and chime in, I'm being a guitar player. I get to just say, dude, I could play I Wish You Were Here.
I have like a picture of me when I was up in the Bay doing the recording last year, and I was up there staying at Mike Gilbert's place, and Anthony came over. We did the pod there one night. It was the whatever episode I don't remember. The Robin one. But yeah, you were playing Wish You Were Here on like one of his like was it what's that crazy artist? What fucking guitar is that? Our Stevie.
Or
Oh,
CDs or whatever.
What is it? I don't even know. I can't keep
yours,
track.
It
yeah.
was
yeah,
the, like
yeah.
carbon fiber one or some shit.
Yeah, and you're just playing
the light
Mike
one.
has at least one of those. Yeah.
It's so funny.
Yeah, dude.
I love that's like you always just play that song.
I feel good when I play that, dude. I feel good.
Maybe that's how we close out tonight.
Yeah, right. Yeah, now you have to play it for
Which
us.
is right
I
now.
Yeah, I
need,
know.
I need
Yeah.
a guitar, dude. I
Somebody
would
get
love to
Anthony a
have a
guitar.
guitar. My acoustic's in storage right now.
You should DoorDash a guitar during the
If
episode.
finally become a homeowner again, I'll have an acoustic that I can play I Wish You Were Here on multiple times in a row.
Well, I'm sure you can call
The same
somebody,
night.
have somebody bring you a guitar right now. I mean, this
Dude,
is an
Nate.
important cause.
Call Nate. He'll do it.
Yeah.
Dude, Nate, drive from the city right now
Not that far. It's,
It's like, yo, dude, hear me out.
for
Come on.
25 minutes.
It's for art,
mhm.
you know.
And then he finally does it. And then I'm like, oh shit, how does it go again?
Right?
There's plenty of YouTube videos you can throw out.
Hey, give me a minute. I gotta work this out again.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
I had
Yeah.
the speaking of art as a pivot there. I don't think it landed though. So I wanted to say though, speaking of art, your guys' music video, I just watched it. Well, there are multiple, but the blue light video,
Uh-huh.
Chef's Kiss, that was
thank you.
easily the sickest
Thank you.
music video I've seen in a long time.
It
And
was
we're
fun to make.
we're fans of music videos. We just talked last episode about them for a long time. And it was like this is the best video I've seen in a long time from
Now I
a
wish
new
I
band,
watched
so.
it. I didn't have time to catch the video, but I have been listening to the album this whole week while I work.
You can do a
and-
reaction video to it right now.
Yeah. What's
Dude.
it called again?
Blue Light
Blue Light
Blue Light
Infinite.
Infinite. Yeah, it's our album opener.
Is there like copyright bullshit that we would deal with?
Oh yeah,
Casey?
but whatever. It doesn't matter.
All right, let's do it.
I don't know. Yeah.
If we
I mean, I
play
guess
parts,
back
you
to
could cut it out if worst case scenario, right?
Yeah, this is just for the live
we'll
feed.
we'll just play like most of it or parts of it and talk
Mhm.
about it. It's fine. But it's like
I mean, we're on the
care.
podcast.
You kind of need to maybe I don't know. Joseph's more objective, but I feel like you need to play the whole thing.
All right, then we got to
I
also
feel
when
like-
it's
If you
Go.
start it, we'll just watch the whole thing. I have no problem with
Can
that.
you
I mean,
screen
it's
share
only
it on
like
here?
3.5 minutes long anyway, so it's not, some big epic.
yeah. So for the listeners, they could just jam the music, right?
That's
Yeah.
right.
We all shut up and let it play because it like cuts it out. It's probably not going to sound as good as you want it to though either. With the
Are you getting
screen
it
share
ready?
stuff?
Yeah, I
we
got
don't need
it.
to sound good.
Cool.
So that means we can't talk.
Yeah, I know. And the reason why I say that is because I'm usually the one that fucking
Yeah,
talks
right.
and then makes it cut out. And
Yeah,
then
but see, he's doing that. I want him to talk.
Yeah, but we gotta talk a little, like
Well, yeah, I could use
Yeah.
some band commentary behind the scenes.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah,
Will
tell
the
us
video
like
keep rolling even if we talk? It'll just
Yeah.
cut the audio out.
It'll cut it out for a minute, or not a minute, but like a
While you're
couple
talking.
seconds after. Yeah, and a
Do
couple
you want-
seconds after.
okay, so you want the audio on, obviously.
Sure.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess as long as you still see it, it's fine.
Where'd you guys shoot it?
It was mostly in a warehouse kind of thing that
Wait, pause.
some of our friends have a teaching school kind of based
parts
on
and
it, sort of.
Oh, this is already amazing, dude.
That's my toaster. That's my personal toaster. I brought it from my house.
And now you're burning something in it.
The side of it is melted from that, actually, like right at the top.
Oh, you messed your own
Yeah,
toaster.
do you see it's melted? That
Yeah.
it wasn't like that before I brought it over.
Burnt Eggos, dude. That's a bummer.
Man, sorry.
That's my car, but I didn't like burn my car or fuck my car up to the music video.
Is it choppy for anybody else?
Yeah.
All right, darn it.
Is that your connection, bro?
I don't want to. Hold on, let me go out of the full
Experiencing
screen.
interruptions?
There we go.
Yes.
All right, maybe.
He's giving us time to take it in.
Yeah,
Right.
Mhm.
like that part.
That's awesome.
I would love to be in a think tank for all these questions that you guys are asking in this video.
Yeah. Maybe if I lower the quality.
We're getting there.
Sorry, 1 second.
I like it when it stutters. It's texture.
Remake.
That's better.
Here we go. I was eating dinner and this scene made me like stop. I gagged.
How many pounds of spaghetti?
Several.
It was like 70 pounds.
70, yeah.
Damn. Dude, that actually is hitting me in my Sicilian roots. That looks delicious, dude.
Meal prepping.
Man.
It's actually not nearly as weird as I thought it was going to be.
Yeah,
Like it all comes
I
together.
love it, dude. I
was
like
was
just
cold.
new ideas brought to the table. You've never really seen that. It pertains to the current day so much. It's got enough parody and satire involved, where there's also like real art that is the whole bubble of the thing.
Sure. And what other
Yeah.
music videos have you seen that have had 70 pounds of spaghetti in a bathtub?
No, but I appreciate you saying that because that's kind of
The
it
point.
it does pertain to the themes of everything that are lyrically. That's very much what the song is about. But it's just like, how do you take that and make it into something
Yeah,
else?
no, I think it kind of is like it's like, how else? I don't know. It's humorous in the way that you're showing yourselves as humans. There's different. Everybody has different, slices of the pie that they are, and to have a sense of humor, but along with showing the seriousness and the real the real connection you guys have with your music and performing the music and just expressing, and it's all in there, dude. And that's why I love that video.
Yeah.
That's
Thanks,
not the
man.
newest one, is it?
No, that was the first one. We just dropped one a couple of days ago. That's more of just like a
Just playing.
typical band playing kind of thing, but in front. We did it all in the same spot in this sort of warehouse building that some of Max's friends have, that they were using it for. I mean, it used to be like a basketball camp, but they use it that's sort of along with their music school, and it's just a big open room, and brought a green screen in there, filmed all of the parts individually, and then
You're saying
the bathtub they had to do at Max's house, but
the basketball thing, is it just it's a bunch of basketball courts in one building?
It's just a
just
warehouse.
one big room.
It's just a warehouse, basically. Yeah, it just has a basketball hoop there still.
Yeah, and they probably might have, they might have had two in there, but it's not really like the room isn't much bigger than a typical basketball court anyway.
Yeah, it just looks like it's like meant to be like a distribution center for something, or it's like it's in just an industrial.
Dude, makeshift.
The kind of
sound
places we hang.
Yeah, right.
Well, yeah,
In the middle
it's,
of Hagerstown, in the middle of nowhere. Yeah, I don't think I have any pictures on my phone of it, but yeah, it's just a big open room. And our friend Jordan, who used to play keyboards and do backing vocals for us live, is an awesome director and videographer, and that's kind of his main thing. And he brought a green screen in, filmed everything, and that was it.
that's rad, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I have a
dude.
question.
Yeah, go for it.
Did Prosthetic help you out with that video, or was it
Not-
independent?
Not
produced?
really. I mean, they give us a little bit of money for it,
Yeah.
Not to get too into, but it was like pretty self-produced. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
I was just wondering, because of this rollout, I feel like it's a bit more substantial than I've seen for you guys before.
Sure.
So I was curious, is this the first one with Prosthetic?
No, this is actually our third.
And
Yeah. So True,
Okay.
So Bound was the first Prosthetic one. And then, Egoista might have been a little dialed back because of just kind of the circumstances. I mean, we did a lot of the same sort of stuff, but
just
I
the
think it
state
was
of the
just-
world was different.
yeah, there was a lot kind of going on then. So, and it was like, we ended up having to kind of release right when COVID happened. And so there were a lot of kind of like unexpected variables there and whatnot.
Okay, in this case,
unfortunate release time.
Yeah.
But this release has been on my radar. It's been fun seeing the rollout on social media, teased, and all that stuff. So
Awesome.
Yeah, happy to be part of the interviews and all that shit. So
Yeah, dude.
Thank you.
I'm a lurker on social media, and I pay attention to a lot of people that have been on the show just to see where they're at. And this was something that I was interested in quite some time. I mean, watch Alex's videos and Max, you going out with Death to All and Cynic and all this kind of stuff. I'm always interested in what you guys are doing, and I love that there's this this project outside of all of those things that you guys do, that you guys come together. Well, Alex and Max, are you involved in any other projects together, or just the one thing?
Well,
not currently.
Sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, we've been in a bunch of different bands throughout our history, because I mean, we've known each other for a long time. And
There's all three of us are involved in another project called Wait.
Yeah,
that
band's sick.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
which is
Yeah,
kind of
we
like Charlie's.
You gotta
baby.
remember.
yeah, Charlie.
Nice.
Yeah, so that's I guess the main difference is Charlie kind of came into the Exist fold after we had worked on that all together, but that's something so it's almost like the kind of thing where it's practically the same lineup.
We've known each other since like 2011 or something.
Somewhere around there.
Yeah.
Let's dig into you, Charlie, for a little bit. Let's get into your musical past and childhood, what that was all about.
My childhood.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't know if you've watched the show, but we like early memories, dude. We'd like to start it as far back as you think you can go, just to see where your connection with music happened and how it blossomed into who you are today.
I mean, I did piano lessons as a kid, 5 years old, for like 5 years or something like that. And I think in 8th grade, I had a friend play the solo from Stairway to Heaven.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, wow, that's really cool. And I just wanted to be cool at that point. And that's how it started and how it's going to end.
So the piano, why did the piano end?
Well, it didn't really. I mean, I kind of flirted with it up until
Charlie,
college.
Didn't you minor in classical piano performance?
No. So I have a BA, bachelor's in music theory and composition from a random ass college in Maryland that no one's ever heard of.
I thought you were minoring.
Well, I mean, I played
performance,
piano. I have no minor. I have no minor.
Charlie's like does a whole bunch of stuff, and he's really good at all of it. Like he's
I'm like a jack of all trades, master of none.
like he plays guitar like a motherfucker. He plays piano like a motherfucker. He knows all these like production tricks and stuff when it comes to like soundscaping and all that kind of stuff.
My production
He
tricks
cooks.
are just
He cooks
clicking
really
around
well.
until I hear
He's
something
like
cool.
he was like a computer programmer for a while, and then he just said fuck this and ditched some job that he had with that. He like he's becoming a nurse. So yeah, he kind of just does everything.
I am in
Nice.
nursing school.
That's rad, dude.
He's a really
Yeah.
good cook.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
why in the music video we had him do all the cooking stuff.
Yeah, I brought my apron from my old job. Shout out to Foraged Eatery in Baltimore.
Dude, Battle Forged Eatery.
But yeah, that's my life in about 2 minutes.
Well, I don't want 2
abbreviated
minutes, dude. I want to spread that out a little bit,
All right.
dude. I want to
Well,
know. So
going.
you said Stairways to Heaven was 6. So how long before you got a guitar?
My neighbor had this PV guitar. I don't know. It was really, really cheap, and I borrowed it for like 3 months and wouldn't give it back. He kept asking for it, and I learned like War Pigs.
Sick.
And I don't know, some like AC/DC stuff, and
And that was still
yeah,
8th grade. That was 8th grade, or
That
a
was
little bit
like
later.
8th grade into 9th grade.
Okay.
9th grade, trying to like find myself,
Right.
and I guess like over my high school career, kind of developed my musical identity.
Mm-hmm. Was there any bands or anything that you were jamming with in high school?
I went to. I grew up in Hawaii.
Oh shit!
And played in like one band in high school.
What island?
Oahu, east side, Kailua.
I'll be there next month.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I love
Nice.
it over there. I love that. We got a nice little resort that we go to, and yeah, Hawaii is amazing. Flip flops all
what's up.
day, dude. Come on.
Yeah, man.
Was there much of a metal scene in Hawaii at all? Like, were there that many shows happening, or that many?
I mean, I'd say it was a small scene, but they're very dedicated. It was,
Sure.
I mean, at least like in the early 2000s, much more of a hardcore focus and like punk. And yeah, the proud but few, or few but proud, whatever.
So you said you played with a couple people, and then so talk about your influences at that time as well, like basically just down your rabbit hole. How did you find your way to heavy metal, and obviously once you get there, how did that keep going?
I was on a bus, city bus, and I had a buddy of mine play me. It was like "Here Comes the Pain" by Slayer.
Nice.
Some Dream Theater song. I can't remember what it was. And what's that one song by Korn? Like
Blind, probably.
Falling Away from Me.
Oh yeah,
like beating me down, whatever.
That's Falling Away or something. Yeah.
And that's where it started.
How old were you?
13.
Yeah, that's
13.
when that stuff hits, dude.
Yes. Yeah. Crossed right over from like AC/DC to Dream Theater.
Right, dude. So then how was how old are you?
33.
Okay,
that's
so
20 years ago. No.
Did you have any record store situations where is there cool record stores in Oahu that you would be able to find some cool?
I'm ashamed to say it, but that was the era of LimeWire and like Morpheus.
Yeah.
You know, like the post Napster file sharing.
That's crazy though, dude. it's because you're 33, I'm going to be 40, so that's really not that much of a difference between two humans to where
No, but
it's
it's like a lifetime.
there was like
there was a
a
boom.
crossover somewhere between us that physical media is just not the
Yeah.
thing, you know.
But I don't think it's
Hmm.
like a direct, because I guess I'm 3 years older than Charlie, and for me it was like mixed kind of, because it was like, yeah, you could get the
I
stuff
mean,
on
it was definitely
LimeWire.
mixed for me too.
Yeah.
Like I remember very vividly buying my first Rage Against the Machine.
Yeah, I feel like it was like you'd
CD.
still kind of buy albums, then you download other stuff, and then like when you downloaded stuff, it was all like, even if you tried to download an album, it took like 5 hours, and then it was
Yeah.
like
And then you just
everything was like different quality. Like you'd have, you know, just this album that everything, like one song's really loud.
Oh
one song's
man,
Yeah,
there's this one Jimi Hendrix song which I don't even remember what it was, but like this edited version went around on the file sharing stuff, and whenever someone would play it, you knew they got it from the internet. It had this one like little blip in it, a very specific thing.
That's funny.
Yeah, dude. Those are. I mean, we used to find bands. I was obviously I was far enough into it to where I was like physical media first. I was going to use downloading as a way to discover bands, and then I would go out and purchase their record after if I liked it, you know?
Yeah, I try to do that nowadays. Like if I hear something on Spotify and I really dig it, I try to go to Bandcamp and like.
And I'm saying do whatever you want. I'm not saying it like I'm calling you out as you know, from the downloader age, but I'm just saying that's how I did it.
I think it's also depended on the people with our generation, because you know a lot of people would download, but then I personally liked going out and buying CDs, and I don't know if Max was the same way or not, but I think some of us just liked doing it anyway, whether or not it was
a whole thing. It was a whole. You got to get there, and you got a certain amount of money in your pocket. You're trying to
record stores had a cool vibe, so just places like that was fun, you know. I mean, and I'm kind of a collector too, so I just like, you know, like physically having something, and that I think that's just
me, dude. And I think that's something they're trying to bring that back with like limited vinyl releases and limited cassette tapes and all this stuff, and it's this nostalgic kind of loop that we keep going back about 20-30 years and trying to scoop up the cool aspects of 30 years ago and bring it into today. And now you see Jinkos are being advertised again, and not saying that I'm going to go buy them, but I'm just saying that that's a telltale.
Are about to be cool again.
There is the part of me that's like, dude, I really do want to reach down to behind my kneecap to get my wallet. Dude.
You should. You could, like, dude, like as many Monster energy drinks as you want.
Yeah, dude. For that Severed Savior show you guys are doing soon, you should all wear Jinkos on stage.
Yeah, in Austin, Texas, right after.
No, Jinkos with sandals, Anthony. Yeah. No, dude, I got a student. I teach a little bit on the side, and I got this kid, and he's like 15 and just rocking Jinkos, dude, right now.
Oh yeah.
I was just, oh man.
All the kids.
Once you see the fashion come back from 30 years ago, the music comes with it. You know, that's why we were seeing
the new metal resurgence now.
Yeah, there is a new metal resurgence,
and it's huge.
And there's the old school death metal resurgence. You know, all the bands that are trying to play like sound like the bands from the early 90s and all that stuff. And I just think that and that's how it was in the 80s. They glorified the 50s. You know, it really is like this about 3 decades, and we're somehow as a society nostalgic for 3 decades before that. And trying to, like that's what we love about retro and vintage and vinyl's back, dude. Cassettes are back, but why haven't we seen VHS tapes come back? Because everybody hates fucking rewinding and pausing and fast forwarding on those motherfuckers, dude.
Well, but I don't think when people buy cassettes, are they really playing the cassettes? Do you
I
think?
think so. I think
Really?
that media has a different enough sound because I know like a lot of noise artists are using cassettes, and I think
Mhm.
some of that might be purposefully because of the sound quality of them, that it has a certain different vibe to it.
We did have this discussion last week with Kevin from Gore Guts, but yeah, it is the same thing, like the crackle of the vinyl or the hiss of the cassette. It gives it a different vibe of there's a different level of something going on there. We we like to jump into time machines and go back to certain times and smell different things that'll
could say-
remind us of being at a certain place. And
Maybe because the horror scene has a little bit of like a collector's sort of thing, right? Like Alex, doesn't like horror movie stuff have more of a kind of scene for people like wanting to buy merch? And
I mean, I guess
there's almost something a little more akin to the metal scene, right? So I could see maybe that would be like a place where people would buy VHSs.
Well, definitely with the people that like the old horror movies, like or stuff from like the 80s, like Jordan, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Jordan also has a huge collection of VHS tapes. And I think, I don't know if it's specifically like just because he likes horror movies, but that I guess makes sense given the era that some of those movies came out in, that was just the media that they came out on. So to get the like purest experience out of it, maybe the VHS thing is what you want to do, or maybe also it just makes you feel like you were when you were a kid watching movies that way. And it is, like you're saying, the nostalgic thing for you.
Mm-hmm. Most definitely. That's the biggest part of it, playing a Nintendo game on the original NES where you have to pop it out and blow out the cartridge and get it to work. That actually is something that I miss, even though it would be frustrating at times. But there's these, I don't know, more archaic versions of digital media that we were playing with at the time, and it was kind of magic that it was working in the first place. And now it just seems like we're in the Matrix and everything's just hardwired in and everything works fast and instantly, instant gratification, But getting it, I can understand the collecting thing most definitely, dude. I'm like OG Gore Guts, Erosion of Sanity right here, dude. Check it out. Or Cannibal Holocaust, uncut, banned in so many different countries, but I got it on VHS. I get all of that because it gives you a rush to be like, I'm one of so many people in the world that has this right here. I'm like, it's kind of an ego thing if you also think about it like that, because you can have an experience with that medium many different ways, but to have the OG original clean copy, it just gives you like a jolt of like, ha ha ha, motherfuckers, I have one.
Yeah.
Right. And then you talk about with all your collection buddies, and it's your one-ups on everybody else,
Oh, yeah, look at what I got. You don't have one.
Yeah, like and going to buy records physically too. You grab something that you don't even realize that it's the OG version, and then you realize, oh, it's worth more. Now you're like, yeah, dude, that was a good find right there in the used bin. Yeah. $5 for something that is like $40 on Discogs.
After like streaming became all popular, it's an interesting thought to just think now, like any song I want to hear, I can just go listen to it, or on YouTube or whatever. I can just go listen to it any time, But like back in the day, it's like, oh, remember that album? Like, man, I don't have it. Like, it's, you couldn't just like listen to it if you didn't have.
Yeah, people go out of their way.
You had to have all your CDs readily available.
Yeah,
like I had like my big wall of CDs right next to my boombox, and then I had a open binder for all the burn discs that I got from people that were just CDs that I didn't buy. And you had to like actually go out and put that stuff in the boombox and whatever.
I just had a thought too. I think it like made you kind of have to like you had that friend who had like the crazy collection, and you go listen to a bunch of whatever. But we all had our own collections to some degree, and like if certain CDs were like, okay, these are our like top picks. These are the stack in my car. Or, like they are on rotate. They're in your CD player. They just pop on. And it's almost like we like almost like if you're listening to a CD to like learn it to play in the band like over and over and over again, like almost like people would do that more without knowing it, like on a regular basis. Whereas now we just listen to something once and then we go to something else and go to something. So it's like shit would get like ingrained in your brain. You would know the songs like so well because I don't know.
Yeah, I think that has a big impact on like just your, relationship with stuff. And I think it's probably a reason partially why it's harder for some stuff to break out now. I mean, that's also just oversaturation, but I think, it's like everybody's relationship to things is a little less, it's not like you pick something and you're stuck with it. It's like you want to give time to that thing, and then there's like 10 other things in your face, so you're tempted to go.
And it's also like just more of it's like normal now to just, this new album came out, I heard it, that's it, that's like I saw it, like I heard it, we're good. I don't know. And
actually the anxiety of like finding something you want to listen to, if you just limit it to a 50 CD booklet that's in your car, it's going to force you and actually be easier for you to find something that you'll listen to because you've already made this top, like it's like your bug out CD collection. Like once the world ends, if I just have this with me, and I have a CD player, plugs into a coconut on a fucking desert island, Yeah,
and you're not gonna go spend like $15 on a CD and then just listen to it once,
No.
But you like add it to your library and you're streaming and you're like, cool, and it's great. It's like super convenient, but it's just funny how that is, But
that was at the time it was so good for Amoeba because you'd buy a used CD for $4, sample it, and then you're like, fuck, I don't like this. You still go back and get like $1.50 for it or something. You invested a couple of bucks to figure out if something was good or not because digging for stuff on the internet was not as prevalent at the time. I didn't really,
Is Amoeba still there? Because I thought I was hearing something that was going to be shut down and turned into like apartments or something like that.
The one in San Francisco is still there, if I'm not mistaken. I thought it was the one in LA that was being threatened, but something happened. I think it's not. It's still going. It's fine.
Oh, okay, good. Yeah, because when I heard about that was really depressing because that store is super cool, really big.
Oh yeah,
one of the last stores that I know of that size and quality and history and everything, and seeing that go down was like, okay, yeah, this is really absolutely the end.
Yeah, I visited both, and that one is definitely the superior one. It's massive compared to the one in San Francisco, but the one in San Francisco still had a lot of Bay Area underground stuff that you could find in there that probably wasn't at other record stores because they were open to having underground artists come in and bring a stack of CDs and be like, buy these off me for X amount of dollars and put them out and see if people buy them, and I came across quite a few Bay Area acts that have done that and succeeded in, getting at least one purchase from me. But yeah, either way, they're both great establishments. I'm sure all the younger people listening to this are like, stop talking about physical media.
Those are the good old days.
Yeah, dude. And I've definitely slowed down on it, but I still support like real shit that gets to my bones, dude. I'm buying your CD for sure.
Well, and it also affects how we end up making art and content in some ways, because especially content for social media, that with how like instantly digestible something has to be, because, Casey, like you were saying, you hear it and then, okay, I heard it and it's done. You walk away like a minute later. That kind of makes you have to, or it sort of puts the pressure on you to make something that's instantly interesting and instantly digestible. And that can sometimes be a negative thing in a way, just because it doesn't allow the space sometimes for things to develop more slowly or
for it to grow on you,
like instantaneous punch in the face. And
all of us have examples of bands that didn't hit us right the first time we listened to them, and now they're some of our favorite things, know?
I mean, like Meshuggah was like that even for me. Like the first time I heard it, it was just like, this is weird. I don't get it. And I tried for a little bit, and I had some friends that were like mega Meshuggah fans. I'm like, dude, these guys are fucking nerds. Like, why do they like the band so much? Like, what the hell? And then the more that I sat with it and then actually, you know, pulled the head out of my ass and kind of like figured out what was going on, it's like, dude, this is amazing. But if I hadn't spent the time trying to dig into that, yeah, maybe would have never gotten into them.
And it's so much more satisfying of a listen when you realize that you had a different opinion and they changed your mind on it.
It's like you discovered something, you know, you kind of found something that wasn't there before.
But you gave it enough to where Meshuggah finally spoke to you and you got it, you know?
Yeah.
I think it's cool too, like the way the social element of just listening to an album and like you're just hanging right to, we're gonna listen to this, even if it's a classic. Like hanging with my buddy the other day, we just put on like some Gallery of Suicide or something like, or Bloodthirst and like that. Remember going to those shows, and that's when we started going to we were like 17 or whatever. But like yeah, I was gonna say, oh yeah, one example. It's funny because my buddy David, he was like that Ophidian Eye album, what's it called, Desolate, and it came out, and it's just like amazing. It's super crazy. The Icelandic band, you know. And dude, like, and I was like blown away off the bat, but he was just like, no, like we got to listen to this like again, and we like kept putting it on, and I was just like,
oh, he made you listen to it.
Oh yeah, but he just kept putting it. He kept wanting to listen to it. We put it on, and put it on again, and I was like, we just listened to this like the other week, but this is awesome. Like, let's do this.
I thought you were talking about this all in the course of one like hour.
Oh yeah, just over and over. Yeah.
I thought this was one session where he's like, "Nah, man, like
that'd be a little much."
Yeah, try again.
Yeah, like it ends. He's like, repeat. It's like, oh shit.
It's like a crazy roller coaster, and you're finally done. And he's like, "Nah, dude, we're gonna stay strapped in, dude. We're doing it one more time."
What'd you think of it this time?
That's okay. This is the ultimate old man shit, dude, right here. Any CDs that you played so often or so much in your car that they got scratched and you rebought them like 2 or 3, like Pierce from Within, I bought like 3 times.
Oh wow!
I think Death Human was like that for me.
Oh
like,
yeah, Human for sure.
The original copy I had, I think, got fucked up, and then I think someone even stole it at one point for me, so I had to buy. I think I bought like that reissue one with the like the new mix and everything. But yeah, that originally was one that I kind of fucked up.
I don't think I've ever rebought a CD. Like if I ever scratched it too bad, that like a resurfacing thing, you know, one of those tools that you can buy.
I never trusted that.
Dude. They worked.
Does it?
Yeah, but I guess like up until a point, like if you grind off too much of it, like it won't work anymore.
Yeah.
But like if it ever got to that point, I'd probably just move on.
I rebought Cranial Impalement 3 times, and on the 3rd time I could only find it for like, I bought it for like $32 or something because I couldn't find a good copy because I wanted to, a mint copy. And that was the last. I was like, this one right here.
You're never going to ever play it.
I'll maybe play it, but I'm going to use like fucking gloves and shit. So I don't have to rebuy it, because if it's already at 35 or whatever, the next time it's out of
70.
Yeah,
people not physically print. Are those Discord CDs not physically printed anymore?
I'm sure there's. I don't know about Cranial Impalement. I don't know if there was a reissue from what was that out on? Extremities. Extremities. I don't think they're even a label anymore. But yeah, either way, Discord is sick. All right, let's dig back more into Charlie, because I know he doesn't want to.
Yeah, right.
Right.
No, let's do it.
All right, Charlie, everybody.
What brand diapers did you wear?
What brand diapers do I wear now or before?
Back
okay.
How have things changed in 30 years? Like, what's the development of the diaper wearing?
Well, diaper wearing, I think, is phased out for now.
Yeah.
You know, we might revisit it in about 50 years, but
yeah,
it
might come back, dude. It might come back. Sorry, the band. When did you actually? I'm sorry, you talked about jamming with people and stuff, but when did extreme metal come into the fold, and when did you decide that was like what you were going to put your nose down and dive into?
I feel like really extreme metal. I wasn't really into until after I met Max and Alex. We had a
Okay.
mutual friend, Matt Kleiss, used to be the old drummer for Exist. We were both going to the same college together, and I think we were both wearing like Nile t-shirts, and we were like, oh, you know,
Yeah.
like nice shirt. And from there, I don't know, I listened. I think I was really into like Nevermore at the time, and
Well, you have to come across a Nile and understand.
I was about to
Nile,
say, yeah, it sounds like.
we just skipped a bunch because
I
I said when
I don't think you discovered it.
Yeah.
Or the Nile.
he woke up
well,
in a Nile shirt one day.
Nile was it was a YouTube discovery, Sacrifice unto Sebek, you know, their music video. Oh yeah, I feel it right in here in my my early or mid 2000s.
That was the first death metal song you heard, though? No.
Honestly, it might have been. Now that I'm really thinking about it, I think it was that, because like I was just seeing you know, George Calais doing his crazy swivel technique with his feet, and I was just absolutely enamored. And it's like, whoa, like there's no bass player here, like what's going on? It's just like two guitar players and a drummer, and you know, it's so heavy, and
they're playing
like 6 strings.
Fuck.
I think Annihilation of the Wicked, I do think it was like a big gateway album for a lot of people our age, because that was a big one for me too, like in terms of when I was like very first getting into death metal, you know.
Yeah,
because that was 2005, so we all would have been like 15 or 16.
We were all in high school, and that was the one that kind of,
honestly, before that it was probably like Slipknot and Mastodon.
Nice.
And
that's a good come up.
And then just like straight that way, and then like along the side there was Opeth, which a lifelong endeavor.
Hell
still going.
Shout out to Ian real quick, Sick Drummer Magazine. Yeah, I bought Focus multiple times in my life too, dude. That's another one that's in my top 5 most purchased albums, to make sure that I have a CD that works. I know I should just start those certain things. I should just burn a copy, because I do have a 6 CD changer still in my truck. That's no auxiliary, no fucking cassette to fucking plug in anything. My phone doesn't plug in anyways, but you know, so I gotta have that 6 album combo when I'm in the truck for a while. And
rotation.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
I don't have one of those.
I have a CD player in my car, but I don't have the CD changer or anything. And I actually just recently took out the binder of burned discs that I have for my car, because it's just been sitting in my car for years, and I would maybe use it every once in a while, but then it got to the point where it's like, dude, this is just taking up space. Like,
I still have my CD case, man. I'm not getting rid of it.
Hey,
hell yeah.
I still got my
that's a memento.
Yeah. Well, no, I still have it. I just took it out of my car because I ended up just not really using it. I'm not getting rid of it. It's like a big, like 5 or 6 inch, like binder of like, I don't know how many CDs I have in there, but I'm not getting rid of that.
I still have some cool demos from bands that have opened up for us over the years and stuff too, that are in that binder. I have a select binder of just, burn things and demos, and it's kind of cool to open up that time capsule every now and then, and be like, oh shit, dude, Inherit Disease 2005 demo, what? Archaic demo, what?
Or it was like a burned CD you got from a friend, and like seeing their handwriting on it from like 15, 20 years ago. It's like all those memories too.
Because bands who took time.
Our old guitarist, Matt Rosa, used to burn me a bunch of discs because he got really into burning CDs and had like a big Ziploc bag full of like hundreds of them. And, every time I'd go over to his house, he'd just end up like, it was really weird. He just keep them in like a big freezer, like Ziploc bag.
I got these too, actually. Yeah.
Yeah. And Max and he would like just give us CDs, or we'd talk about some album that neither of us had. And he would just burn a disc for us, and we'd like leave his house with it. So like
Matt's house was one of those cool little like sanctuaries kind of.
Yeah, because it was like out in the middle of the woods, and just going there, it was like a really cool vibe.
Yeah,
Did we
dude.
ever do any recording there? I mean, I know we like did some writing and some other stuff, but I don't think did we ever record?
We did like demos for like
Yeah.
So True So Bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
Having the homie that's either got a stack of blank discs that's so eager to Josh, David, Casey, all those guys had stacks of blank discs, and then we'd have conversations, and they'd bring up something, and I'd be like, never heard of it. And then they're like, dude, no way. All right, I'm gonna burn that album, plus I'm gonna give you like a bonus, like 3 songs from 4 other bands on there too. Check out all those other bands. And I'd just be driving home from Santa Cruz, just listening to all these burned discs that these guys were giving me, and kind of giving me a nice little download of good.
Josh with his Sharpie. Like,
yeah, dude.
And he'd like give you a little bag. Here you go.
Totally, dude. We left with goodie bags of
Every
art,
time.
dude. And it was an hour and 10 minutes to get back home, and I'd have like a perfect amount of time to sample each one and be like, oh yeah, I gotta listen, put this over here so I can listen to that again soon, because or whatever,
That is a thing that it's like you talking about it now. It's like, oh yeah, that's because that's familiar, but it's like a thing that went away that I never realized went away.
You haven't thought about it in a while.
I haven't thought about it, but I'm like, oh yeah, that was cool. Like that never happens anymore.
I'll rarely get somebody. I mean, it still happens where they'll send me like a Spotify link, and it'll be a homie that says, check this, or that.
But even then, it's not. I mean, it's kind of running in circles talking about it, I guess, but it's not. It's easier to just forget.
Totally. In that sense, it is. But if you have this time where it's like, okay, the Odious guys are getting together this weekend, you're going to bring to the table, everything that you've gathered on your own individual path. Everybody's kind of throwing their new things out on the table. Check out this band, check out this movie, whatever. And it kind of forces that communal thing to happen, because it's a planned get together where everybody kind of is all on the same page of just
I don't really like to tell people about the things I discover, because if they start to like it, then I can't like it anymore.
Yes, that is a thing that I've battled with over the years too. There are there are most definitely groups that not only do I keep to myself, but there's also groups that I just know that when I bring it to the table, I'm just
gonna get shit on.
Yeah, and I just know.
Dude, sometimes that's really fun though. If you want to make people uncomfortable, you want to play something that everybody's gonna hate. Sometimes
I'm the guy who would always do that at the parties, because I didn't give a fuck. Like Joel and Casey would say, Casey just left, but I was always the guy who would put on my iPod, put it on shuffle, and see how long it would take for somebody to react negatively to a song that popped up, because my shuffle was so schizophrenic.
Yeah.
But at the same time, there's certain aspects of certain bands that are outside of the friend groups, listening tastes, that I know that if something were to click with them, those groups would actually be something that they would listen to. So I still try and bring things to the table and just be like, no, dude, there's certain arguments where you're just like, you don't get it, dude. Who cares about? I mean, this isn't because you guys have plenty of clean vocals, but there was a clean vocal argument that we used to have 20 years ago. I was the guy who was bringing the bands with the clean vocals and trying to get everybody to understand, like, no, this is really good, guys, and they would just shit on the clean vocals all the time.
What bands would you bring in?
Watchtower. I know that Spastic Inc. was actually something that Spastic Inc. was something that was brought to the table by Joel and Josh, but that sent me down the road because once I figure out about an artist that I fall in love with, I gotta figure out everything that they're involved in, S.A. Slayer, Ron Jarzenbeck. If you go back, there's a band that he played with called S.A. Slayers that's got some pretty cool songs.
Oh, I know that one.
But Watchtower was one of the things that I brought, and I'm like, dude, Ron's involved in this, and they were just shitting on the vocals. And yes, those are
that's in fairness.
Yeah.
And I'm not I don't have
love
a problem with
Watchtower.
that. Yeah, but I can see why.
Yeah,
It's-
Yeah,
I
it
can
is.
understand.
melodies
Like,
are all over the place, and
Yeah.
just the timbre of his voice too. I can see how if it's something that you're not used to, it can
Yeah.
just, what the fucking what is this?
But you
Kinda
know,
like-
I'd also bring, you know, like Mars Volta, Coheed, and Cambria. Kill Switch Engage was one of the bands that they would make fun of me for too. But I always enjoyed the clean vocal aspect
Yeah.
Yeah, I
involved.
feel like
in
we would have
metal.
made fun of the kill switch thing.
Yeah, but that was something. And
But
you know,
now
it's
I'm
funny
okay
is
with now. I
then
don't
when
mind it.
everybody everybody got okay with them, and I was out after that.
Yeah.
That's that's kind of like a circle on what you just said, Max. Is
Yeah.
As soon as everybody was okay with Kill Switch Engage, I was kind of like, they kind of only always do the same thing every album, anyways, you know.
Yeah.
After that End of Heartache album,
That was the
but,
only one that I really like kind of dug into or liked. And it was for the same reason that the other ones I listened to was just kind of like, all right, that's sort of the same thing.
I think I just missed the metalcore thing completely. I think it was like when that really started happening, I already was like a little too far.
the only Kill Switch
Yeah.
Engage I know is the Holy Diver cover.
that one's
Yeah,
pretty
it's like-
cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, I get what you're saying, Max. You kind of, if you miss the Kill Switch Engage exit on the freeway, it's going to be hard to get off and come back and get.
I mean,
to that,
I can
you know.
appreciate those bands now too. But it
Yeah.
was like, it was like at the time, it was one of those things I already was like into all this other stuff. And then like, you know, I had a few friends who were like only into that. And I was just like, fuck you guys, you know?
And it's like, it's also transition metal to listen to your woman, listen to with your woman, you know, like here's some more acceptable sounding metal that we might be able to listen to together. And
Not mine.
Yeah.
No,
Mine
she's
either.
already all in on Deeds of Flesh and shit. Like more,
Nice,
she's
dude.
more. I think Lindsay's probably listens, or at least in times, has probably listened to more death metal than me. So
That'll never happen in my life, dude. My wife would never
Yeah,
put on
Jamella's like a
death
big
metal.
war metal fan and like really like gross kind of sludgy death metal too. So it's really, yeah, it's funny.
Rad,
She
dude.
like more fucked up stuff kind of than I do.
That's sick.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I think we're gonna go see Antichrist Siege Machine in like 2 weeks, or at least she's going to. I don't know if I will, but yeah.
I think Lindsay and Jamila probably go to like metal shows that we don't even go to.
maybe.
I'll
Like,
say-
they've definitely gone to like death metal shows that neither of us are.
Sure. Yeah.
I'll give it up to my wife and say that she definitely is a metal show goer, not listener. She loves
at
to
least
go
she'll
to the
go.
shows.
You know.
She likes to go to the shows with me, and we have a blast in any metal show that she comes to. But to ask her if she's going to ever listen to that band again after, she'd be like, fuck no.
Well, I mean, at least she goes, you know, because that's still
Yeah, because I mean, it's the whole experience too.
I
She
think
understands-
people see the energy of it sometimes, and it's, you know,
The community.
even if they're not into it, they're like, wow, this is, you know, it's
Depends
when you
on the
actually see it
show.
live.
Yeah.
Yeah, when Cannibal Corpse came through with Dark Funeral and shit, and my girlfriend at the time was not super interested at all.
Yeah.
You go have
Oh,
fun with
man.
your friends.
My wife and I saw
Yes, I
Leprous
will go
and
have
Devin
fun with my
Townsend.
Oh
And,
shit! Wait, who was the first? Who was the first one?
What's
my wife and I
Devin-
saw Devin Townsend and Leprous.
Yeah. Oh,
Nice,
cool.
dude.
Right on,
Talk
Joel.
about-
Dude,
Talk
Joel
about performers. Like
loves that band. Yeah.
they
The
know how to
drummer's great.
perform. Like
Yeah, Devin's
Yeah.
fun.
That's a
Yeah, I saw that
100% Joel show, dude.
What's the
Having
drummer's
Devin
name
and
again?
Leprous.
For which
In
band?
Leprous,
Leprous.
Bard.
Oh,
Bard,
That's
Polstead.
okay. Yeah, that guy's
yeah,
nuts.
he's a maniac.
Yeah, he's sick.
I was just thinking that was his name. Yeah.
Yeah, they had the
Actually,
cellos on stage and everything.
I knew
Yeah.
Ian was gonna pop in as soon as we mentioned Leprous.
What did Ian say?
He loves them, dude, and they're
Oh.
a great band. I actually enjoy listening to everything I've heard from them. I haven't dug deep into like a
I haven't
full
really
album of theirs, but
Oh,
all
man.
the songs that Joel's ever told me to check out, I'm like, oh shit, I
Joel's
get it.
a big fan. Yeah.
I'd say Melina is
Yes.
one of my probably like top 25 like of all time
I like
favorite records.
Cole, I like that record too.
Speaking of bringing wives to metal, I brought my wife to see Cynic last year at the Secret LA show.
Oh
Um,
yeah, I was there.
where you played Max, right?
Yes.
That was when
Oh
you
yeah,
were in
Max.
the lineup
Yeah.
Yeah.
dude.
on stage. That was a fun one, and
Fuck
that
yeah.
was pretty heady show for her. I think before that, I mean, she's seen me play a few times, but Gojira was maybe the last one before then.
Ooh, nice.
But Cynic, she fucked with it.
Hell
It was
yeah,
cool.
dude.
Yeah.
I just remembered now that my wife, I don't know, 7 months, 8 months pregnant, took my firstborn in her womb to go see Suicide Silence at Shoreline.
There you go.
And the whole time I was down, but at the same time I was like, holy shit, dude, the vibration, because we were like side stage.
Wow.
And the vibration of the music, I was just thinking about Trevor the whole time.
Yeah. Those bass frequencies, they go right through you.
If you're trying to nap in there now, dude, you're not napping anymore, dude.
You better wake the fuck up.
I don't know.
Right.
Loud music made me sleep when I was a baby. They figured that out.
For Dominic
Oh,
and
yeah?
Trevor too, dude.
Oh, both
Dominic
your
can
sons?
fall
Yeah.
asleep to death metal. I have a video of him falling asleep to metal, dude. It's
That's
so
great.
funny.
How cool is that, dude? You're just like
There's something hypnotic about it, really. If you
Yeah.
think about it, there's definitely a hypnotic aspect to, especially listening to certain parts on the new Exist, dude. There's riffs that kind of
Put you to sleep.
I didn't mean it like that. I swear, dude.
Unintentional burn.
Oh
I
my
was
God.
gonna go with.
I didn't
like,
even catch that either. That was
There's
so
riffs that
funny.
make my eyes do the swirlies while I'm listening. That's what I was gonna say. I'm not going to sleep.
I think you
I'm
guys are
watching-
saying the same thing.
You guys are swinging the pocket watch in front of my eyes while I'm listening to you. That's the thing.
That was a
Hitting
great
you in the
podcast,
face
guys. Look at that.
God, of course I gotta say it wrong. Make it sound like I'm an asshole.
Anthony,
No,
we need to talk after the episode.
we're gonna have a pod meeting
Yeah, we
after
have
this
an
about my ethics.
company meeting after this. Sure.
Yeah, but for real, it's like it's something, or you could take it back to Meshuggah too. We've used the word hypnotic when you listen to Meshuggah.
Sure.
It puts you into this state that while you're listening to it, you kind of you separate from everything, and it's just you're one with what you're listening to. That's what I feel that you guys are trying to achieve with that one. And there's definitely plenty of riffs that made me forget what I was doing while I was listening to it,
Mm-hmm. What's up, Michelle?
Were you working on cars at the time?
I was, dude, and I was like, oh shit, dude, I'm
Yeah.
supposed to make this car go straight. And
You fell asleep under.
He fell asleep.
I guess my take on the band sound, there's like
Jesus.
a lot of alien sounds, but a lot of like very human sounds. You guys are like straddling an interesting, like kind of alien style. I'm trying to think of a band that would be like fully alien. Like Meshuggah, I feel like is further away from like normal. And then I don't know. It's like a real raw death metal is very human, and you guys aren't quite that either. So yeah, it's an interesting kind of space you've carved out.
Sure. I mean, some of it might just be for all the stuff that we're into, because we're into all different types of musics, and we're kind of pulling from all different types of musics. And, I guess maybe that's kind of found its way into, all the stuff that we've written and played because of that. It's just sounds we like and sounds we want to hear. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
Totally. The recording on that video that we're listening to, that's the new album, right? And so that sounds really good. Like I was listening, just whoa, like
it's
like
definitely more straight ahead, if you will, than the previous Exist records. Definitely more like, I don't know if I'm allowed to say like more groove oriented. I don't want to like invoke the gent monster.
Don't say the wrong thing, Charlie.
yeah.
Otherwise you get kicked off.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like it's there are plenty of like super groovy moments on Egoista even, but it's the new record, I feel like it's a lot more short-winded, if that is even a word that people say.
Okay. I love the sound too of everything, and the bass. I was like, whoa, I could love the way the bass sounds. I was like, that sounds rad. I can hear everything. But the guitar tones, everything sits like nicely separated. It's all like, it sounds really good, and the drums sound
that was That was, I know Alex was, I think, saying that was isn't that one of your favorite bass tones you've gotten on record? Or?
Yeah, so especially, I don't know what it was because I didn't change my settings at all, but whatever I got for Blue Light Infinite, there was something on that just sounded like bigger or heavier. And I mean, I didn't change any of my.
Might just be the way it blends with everything.
How I played that day. I don't know what it is, but that song in particular. But yeah, that whole album is probably my favorite, at least like dirty recorded tone I've ever gotten. And yeah, I've always felt that a really prominent bass tone makes everything else sound nastier. You know, that like when it blends in with the guitar in a way where you can like really hear what the bass is doing, it makes everything sound like meaner and heavier and just nastier than if a bass is kind of really buried within everything. But maybe that's just what I tell myself because I just want to hear bass in recordings.
Have a purpose in life.
And I'm trying to justify my own narcissism.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, Joel's not actually sick. He's just recording bass all night, I think, is what it's really. Nah, he's sick. I'm just kidding.
No. He kept sending me these like AI celebrity videos for a while.
Joel did.
Yeah.
Well, dude, he was like, I don't know. I'm sure he's done it too. He was just, dude, we did it. He did it last week because I was late. I had a debacle of trying to get to get to the place where I was going to be doing the podcast on Friday because we normally do it on Thursdays. I go to Rockland, which is normally 2.5 hours away. It took me 6 hours to get there. I got off work early that day just to get up to be there in time for the Kevin podcast, and I still ended up getting there a half an hour later. But anyways, since we were going to be going a half an hour later, Joel put up a story of Justin Bieber telling everybody that we were going to be late that night, and it actually was like, it was pretty convincing.
Yeah, they're a little scary for sure.
Yeah. On the other side of that, though, all the shit that Murray makes is so funny when he like superimposes his face on top of all of these other like movie clips.
It's insane.
Shout out Murray, dude. I haven't seen him. I don't know if we've seen him in the chat in a while, but yeah, dude, he cracks me up. He cracks me up on social media all the fucking time.
Yeah,
dude.
He's really funny.
Yeah, I want to see more. Actually, I haven't seen any of those in a while. The superimposed face is so funny, dude.
Yeah, because he was like going hard on it for a while. Like every day, it seemed like he'd have like this reel of like 5 or 6 different things that he had edited together. Yeah.
I feel like that started to be a thing. What's that? Go ahead. I feel like that started to be a thing right around 2019 or something. You know, people
deep fake videos.
Yeah, people would superimpose their faces onto like Iron Man clips or whatever.
Us boomers are like, dude, do you know about this deep fake thing? We're 5 years late.
Right.
I'm just gonna believe the ball.
If I can transition us a question.
Yes, please,
towards,
Joseph, take us. Save us.
I mean, I wanted to ask Alex how the Obscura Cynic Europe tour was and playing bass for Obscura on yet another tour. And then maybe after that, maybe Max, you're going out with Death to All and Cryptopsy. That would be fun to hear what you're planning on that, for, how that planning is going too. But definitely want to just talk for a little bit about your other projects. I mean, both, you know, sick bands. Obscura has been one of my favorite bands for a long time. So
who wants to go first?
Tight. Sure, I'll go first.
All right. Oh,
oh,
that was a joke. I pressed slightly too far to the left, and it pulled you out of the.
And I get kicked out.
Sorry.
Yeah, that Euro tour was it. That was awesome. I mean, you know, all of the dudes in Cynic, you know, I wish Max could have been there, but it was, you know, still an awesome hang. You know, I knew all of the guys other than Mike. So I knew the hang was going to be fun. And then getting to hang with Mike every day was really cool. So just the hang was good because we shared a bus with them. We were originally supposed to have, you know, do the typical nightliner thing where the whole tour was going to be on the same bus. But the company, I don't know what happened, but they messed something up with like one of the parts for the bus we were supposed to use, so we couldn't use it. And then we ended up getting the nicest bus in the fleet. It was a little bit smaller, but it was the nicest bus they had, and it only fit us and Cynic. And it was great. You know, hang wise, it was great. Touring in Europe, I always really like. I don't know if I necessarily like it better than the States, but I definitely like it better than the States for the hospitality side of things. You know,
Yeah, we hear.
yeah, dude, because of the way that they, you know, cook for you and all the food and everything. The lifestyle is just a little bit easier because you don't spend. I hardly ever spend money at all on Euro Tour, so that really helped.
You probably eat healthier too.
Yeah, I mean, and most of the food they give us, it's like home cooked food, you know, stuff that they make. Sure, we'll still get after show pizzas and stuff, so it's still like carb loading all the time, and I definitely like gained like 5 or 6 pounds coming back from that. But yeah, you're eating actually good food. You know,
Right.
the cities are all. I mean, we played in a bunch of really awesome venues and awesome cities. So overall, it was great. You know, it was a great hang, which I knew it was going to be going in. So
Nice.
Sweet.
Yeah, you always
touring guys.
Yeah.
How
We all
do
go at the same
how
time.
do you not get sick after?
Oh God.
We all do.
You do get sick.
Impossible.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I played 3 shows with Exist in January and I got sick.
Yeah.
And
I didn't get sick on that Euro Tour at all, surprisingly, because Gilbert got some really fucked up. I don't know what it was, but he was sick for almost the entire tour because like he was sick for like a week and then it started getting better. And then he ended up walking around with some of the dudes. I think it was maybe like in Paris or something. And he did it a little too soon and then got sick and started tanking again.
Oh,
But I think it was
gnarly.
some kind of like bacterial thing because nobody else got sick. It was only him. You know,
Max,
like,
didn't you
especially when you're in a bus, when everybody's in close quarters, you're just breathing, you know, circulated air. Once one person goes down, usually that means everybody else.
Yeah.
Will. But,
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, on this one, Mike was the only one that got sick.
Bummer.
I had my first like what was it in like a month ago or whenever we were just out with DTA. I had my first like food poisoning experience where I actually had to play a show.
Oh.
Yeah, because it's always been like my worst kind of fear with that because it's like, you know, I mean, yeah, it's normal to get like a fever or a flu or whatever, you know, but yeah, exactly. You just kind of deal with it and it's, you know, it's a bad time, but at least you objectively can like still do the thing you need to do. But with that, it was like, it was one of those things where, and especially doing
wanting to die.
Yeah, doing vocals too, because it's like the more I'm doing that, you know, it's like, yeah, exactly, yeah, pretty much, yeah.
So what did you do? Like,
I just sucked it up. I mean, it was.
Did you have a bucket?
We had a bucket. I didn't end up having to use it, but it was I mean, as soon as I got done for the night, you know, I felt like I kind of toned down like the performance aspect, at least in terms of like moving around, which then I kind of feel like jabroni about because it's like, you know, it was in like Peru and it's sort of a rare opportunity for all those people to see something like that, you know, or just so, you know, then I feel guilty.
Yeah, but you also think you're still out there and you still executed, dude.
Yeah,
that's true. That's true.
Not played that night. You like, oh fuck this, I'm too sick. I'm not gonna play.
Yeah, well, sure, but like, yeah, I mean, I don't know. There's not much you can do about it, but yeah, it was like the first time that's actually happened, you know, and so I don't know. I guess it could have been worse.
I mean, I dealt with losing my voice. I've dealt with the only thing closest to your food poisoning thing would be taking a Jaeger shot right before a song and feeling wanting to throw up that shot the whole next song. And it's
just for one song though.
Yeah, actually I got through it after I got through that song, drank some water and it was fine, but just that shot was right here the whole time on that song, you know. And I'm talking about shit and fecophiliac or whatever, you know?
Yeah, right.
It's fitting.
I mean,
It actually would have worked probably.
one.
That's
to
cool that
throw
you
out-
guys. Is it a festival that you guys are playing with Severed?
Yeah, it's Texas Domination is the guy Miguel
Oh,
who
okay.
used to do Chicago Domination, and then he moved, and this is his first go at bringing that festival to where he's at now. And
I didn't
Oh,
know
it
that's
is.
why it was in Texas. I didn't
I
realize.
didn't know all that. That's cool.
yeah, and it's a sick lineup, and we'll be last band on the last day, and
Nice.
yeah, I can't wait to play those songs again. Those are such fun songs
Are
to
you
play
nervous?
live, dude.
I was gonna say, when's the last time?
I'm not
Severed
nervous
Savior-
yet. I'm not
Not
nervous yet. What's that,
When's
Max?
the last time Severed Savior played live?
2012, August of
Yeah.
2012. Yeah. Or
Damn.
no, not August, like July
Wow.
of that year.
That's killer.
Just like right.
Yeah, dude. And I think that, the cynic thing with Gilbert kind of,
Because he's
made
fresh
him
off of
realize-
playing a lot of shows. Yeah.
yeah, it's just like
Yeah.
now he's got his chops up to play with Cynic again. Why not?
Did he
revisit
have
the-
did he have some hand problems at some point?
Yeah, he
Do
was
I
dealing
remember
with I think a carpal tunnel issue or
Ooh.
something similar to that for
Can't
a
like bend his
while.
wrist in a certain way now because of how that happened. He was still able to play, but it's something to do with that where he can't like,
man.
fully bend his wrist properly.
Yeah, but I mean, you watch some of those Twitch streams that he had that he was playing
Blindfolded and stuff.
inverted, inserted, blindfolded, and
Yeah.
Yeah, he
killing
had
it.
no idea he had any problems.
So he, I think he's built that back up to where I don't think it's much of an issue as it was back in the day. But yeah, at that time, that was one of the reasons why Severed put it on the back burner for a little bit. But we've never, just like Odious too, we've never disbanded. We've never quit. We've always just been in these hiatuses that happen, and we eventually still love each other and want to come back and make music again with each other. And so
Speaking of which, Anthony's got a little announcement, dude.
well, yeah, so we're gonna build up to the Severed gig. I'm gonna get my voice back for that, obviously, and then right after that I'm going into the studio for Odious's new album, which is gonna be the best thing we've ever done.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah, dude. It's gonna happen, and it's gonna be great. It's the best performances I've ever heard from these musicians that I'm working with, and I'm very stoked. I got to bring the pain, like we were talking about earlier.
You think there's going to be any new Severed music at all, or is this,
Yeah, there's talks about a new EP. As soon as Troy and Mike get comfortable with where they're at and want to start working on new music, I'll most definitely be
Hell
ready
yeah.
for it.
I just feel like when I
Yeah.
was like kind of younger, I just knew all these guitar nerds who were like obsessed with like trying to learn the Servile Insurrection songs, and I feel like they're like a little bit like, I don't know. It seems like it seems like an unsung sort of thing sometimes that I think actually maybe is more influential than
It may be. I speaking from just the minimal amount of part of that album as just the voice, because same thing with the Odious. I always feel like I'm the last little cherry on top, and hopefully the cherry's ripe, but with these guys, I've always been a Severed fan first, before I joined the band. So when I heard those new songs and I watched them grow into what they were, my opinion on Gilbert has always been the same. I just couldn't believe that this dude was playing this stuff that, organically
and effort?
and so for that man to make new music, he's just got to get in that right mindset and be in his little cave where he just works at it, and then all of a sudden he comes out and he's got a bunch of stuff that is amazing, and I've always just been like, as long as Gilbert's still got the bug, just let him be. And I think that once we do this thing, and actually the response to it too has been so awesome to see how many people are stoked on us coming back, you know, and hearing people wanting to fly out from different countries. I saw Athens. I saw all these crazy places that
I
people
believe
are
it.
wanting to fly from, and these were comments specifically on our announcement to this festival. It's pretty
I kind of
crazy to think about, dude. And so I think that all that excitement and all this energy that's starting to build up to this thing, I know that Troy and Mike are going to feel that the relevance of this band and how there's plenty of people that want to hear more Severed Savior, you know.
Mhm.
And
Are you guys
I can't wait to be on it.
Are you doing more shows so far, or just that one?
That's the only one, but I want to say it would
I'm
be
sure you'll
smart
get
to
more
do some
offers now
warm
that
up.
you're doing this, and like
Yeah.
people will see that you guys played that. So I'm sure you'll.
Yeah,
You guys
touring,
play the Octopus
touring,
Lounge again, dude.
touring's probably not ever going to be a thing, but
Yeah.
as far as festival spots and you know, small little one-off gigs to warm up for those festival spots, I think that we can handle all that.
Sure.
MDF 2025.
That's right.
Dude, I mean,
That'd be
that would be sick.
Yeah.
That would be way sick, dude.
Hell
Then
yeah.
I could say I played at MDF with both of my bands, dude. And that'd be rad.
Yeah. This is always a good show, dude. I remember Decrepit playing there later on. We had some fun times. It was always good. It was just that first time that was a little rough around the edges, but
Yeah, we'll always say.
I know. Anyways, but yeah, moving forward. But yeah, man, that's awesome, dude. Well, fucking, that's gonna be. I want to go to that now. I'm like, shit. So we're in
The
Texas
Texas
again?
one? Austin.
Awesome, oh, dude.
You know what
I
venue
know.
it is?
See Josh and shit.
I don't, but I
Come
did
take
look
it.
it up. I forget what it's called.
Isn't it at the Haltom Theater in like
Oh,
Dallas?
yeah,
Colorado?
yeah,
yes,
because that's where Gordon,
That's
the Heart
awesome.
of Texas, was at that Alton Theaters. That makes sense.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's not in
Yeah.
Austin, unfortunately.
okay.
But
Oh, right near Austin area, I guess.
no, it's in Dallas, Fort Worth.
Oh, sick, dude. Totally plugging my foot wrong.
Far
The
is
thing
that?
that he was talking about.
Okay.
You know.
Hilarious, dude.
Dude, we played a crazy show in Dallas one time with, oh man, it was nuts. Suffo and Carcass and shit. It was the craziest show ever. But was
Dude, Casey, if you flew out, like, what's up, dude? We could do a live Cali Death podcast in Texas, dude.
so I know Texas is huge. I'm just curious, how far is Dallas from Austin?
It's
Forever.
like 3 hours, I
I don't
think.
think.
Drive?
Yeah, it's well. I mean, for a tour drive, it's like pretty short.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, feels like that, and I guess Houston are kind of more bunched up, and then there's all this like crazy Texas where there's like
Crazy
nothing.
Texas.
I remember
Yeah, like if you go out to
trying
like what is it, like Lubbock or like
yeah.
you know, or even just like going to
Dude.
El Paso or any of this. Yeah, there's just so much.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
El Paso, man. We
It's
drove
like
these-
it
We
seems
played
like all the
Lubbock.
other
Oh,
places
yeah.
are bunched up.
We played Lubbock on the bloodletting, dude, didn't we?
Yep. It was
I
like
remember that
It
club.
was a sports bar with
Sports bar.
That's funny because
in the
we
back.
did Lubbock the time I did bloodletting with Defeated Sanity when we were doing the Dharmata stuff.
Oh shit.
Was it a sports
And
bar?
it was a sports bar. I bet it was the same place.
I'm sure it was.
That's cool.
But I remember there was like, I guess the pre-sales were so bad that the whole package, all the bands ended up having like our TM made like a raffle jar where you put a number of pre-sales that you think it's going to be. And it was
Yeah.
like, you know, and everybody's like trying to bet on like these really low numbers. And it just turned into this contest.
Yeah, you kind of get a bad feeling when you're driving to the place and for like a half an hour you're just driving by a one train track.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every gas station that you go in, they just they give you this look like you're not from.
Yeah.
Well, dude,
know.
like the last North American tour that Obscura did was the first time I've ever played El Paso. Actually, no, sorry, Malignancy, when we played there right before that tour, was the first time I had played in El Paso. And before that, I could have played at that venue, like the Rock House or
Rock
whatever.
House.
Yeah, whatever that one venue is there. I could have played there 3 or almost 4 other times before that, but every tour that I had been on, the show either got canceled because of low ticket sales, or we just bailed on it because it wasn't worth making the drive. Because like from Dallas, it's like 4 or 5 hours or something, driving through absolute nothing. You know,
Mhm,
I think it's probably even more than that. I mean, I'm probably wrong.
Yeah,
but
I feel like it's longer.
it's a long way for just that kind of crappy show. So like that was the first time I had played there, even though it could have been like the 3rd or 4th or 5th time I would have played there.
Wait, was that last year?
Yeah.
I think we were because DTA was like passing you guys that day.
The
We had a
Malignancy or the Obscura one?
No, Obscura, my bad. Yeah, Obscura.
Okay.
Yeah,
guys
because
waved
you
at
were
each
out
other
at the
while
same
you were
time.
going past each
Well,
other.
no. We were trying to. We wanted to go there for a day off, and we were just going to go to the show, I think, and then it for some reason it like, didn't work out. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I don't remember if it was.
You can imagine. What it
I
would be
just
like
imagine you guys waving at each other,
Yeah, right.
dude.
Hi.
I've played that rock house a couple times in El Paso, and there's a card store, like trading card store.
Oh, it's
in
like
the-
it's in that same little shopping center thing. Yeah, I think I've noticed that when I've been there.
Yeah.
Is there like a tattoo parlor? Is that the place with?
Maybe there's also nearby.
Wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, that was where I did my first competitive Magic the Gathering playing in an actual game store.
Oh shit!
That's
I
fun.
thought you were about to say like just competitive Magic. Like when you haven't done any sleight of hand on this show, 179 episodes, dude.
Yeah. Cast some
He did disappear for a while, so that was kind of.
And think about competitive Magic like it would be like a hip hop freestyle battle that they're just doing
Competitive
magic tricks at each other, dude.
No, but seriously,
I pulled a dog out of my hat. What are you going to do?
Tossing doves at each other and shit.
But I thought that's like the thing is once you're on the in, like if you tour enough with like progressive death metal guys, like everyone is into Magic the Gathering, or at least the band I was playing for was. So it was like, oh, Rock House, we'll play MTG and then we'll play the show and then we'll bail. It was like part of the experience. It's like
on the UK tour that we did with Obscura and Inferi and Decapitated, the Inferi dudes played
the Inferi guys
like on a couple of those ferry rides in the UK, like going to Ireland and Scotland. They were just playing Magic there. I
remember Stevie was all in on that for sure. Yep. I could see all
the truth is out. Nice.
Yep. And then that Haltom Theater, just for another show story, in Texas, we slept on the roof of the RV in the Haltom Theater parking lot because it was like 97 degrees out. Maybe it dropped to like 90 at the and it was just too hot in the RV. But I other parts of that Texas trip, I literally just bought a 20-pound bag of ice and just clutched it,
and then you wake up completely soaked.
It was literally more comfortable than being dry but that hot. So
that's the thing, because it's like when it's cold, at least like the body temperature is kind of
or you can always
regulate,
But when it's like when you're in those like hot places,
dude, it's brutal.
And you're like,
Max, do you remember on the Diluvium tour when for that tour we slept in the van pretty much every day. Except for maybe 2 or 3 shows, and one of them in particular was in Houston, and it was like the end of September, early October, so it wasn't even deep into the summer, but at that point it was still like in the upper 90s into the hundreds, and that was like one of the days that we actually had to suck it up and get a hotel because it was so hot that we would have died.
Dude, it's crazy because you're missing showers, plus every morning you wake up from sleeping in a van like that, nobody is dry. Everybody has been sweating all night, dude. So your 3-4 day shower body has been sweating all night, and then we all wake up and breathe on each other and fart on each other.
Talking about getting sick, Charlie. Wait till you do a tour like that.
I like to. How about the truck stop showers?
Hell yeah, dude!
Awesome. Yeah. I love truck stops.
I feel like it's a little expensive, but that's the solution.
But dude, they're amazing. I mean, like before before I started using them, obviously the word truck stop shower doesn't sound very appealing.
No, but
but
actually, it's much more
dude, that's
pleasant
where
than you
those
think,
guys have to
dude.
shower. I mean, if you're a professional trucker, I mean, you got to shower somewhere. So
It's
Most
better.
definitely,
It's
dude.
better than the venues usually,
so
and
much
it's
better.
and it's easy. It's like chill,
That's what's great about having a pair of flip flops in your arsenal, guys. You,
Yeah,
you
dude, I
can
can
walk
every
in any
tour,
truck
man,
stop
every
shower
tour
and
I
be
got 'em.
totally fucking chill.
Yeah, that's right. And
I don't
talking
even
about
feel like you need the
lifestyle,
flip flops as much with that as the venue.
yeah, the
Yeah.
truck stops aren't so bad, but like definitely the US venues suck. But talking about lifestyle on Euro tours, those showers are generally way better. There were only
Nice.
a couple of venues like the Underworld in London. That shower is really kind of fucking gross.
Shout out Underworld in
yeah,
London.
yeah, clean the shit up. But most of them are awesome. Most of them are great. Like there were a handful of them where I just didn't even wear flip flops because it just looked like they actually had cleaned it that day rather than like a month before the show,
Right.
or never cleaned it.
Yeah. If it's no different than any like decent hotel room shower, for sure, just trust it.
Yeah, it's fine. But
Is there
that doesn't
any
happen here that often.
is there any part of hospitality where you're like, this is the feature alone that makes me feel like, oh, I've made it, like I can live comfortably as a touring musician? Or is it like the entourage, it's all the food and the shower and the bed and is it all at one thing, or is there like one thing you need?
I don't. Well, so
if you
for
could
me,
pick one thing,
I mean,
and,
for
like,
me
throw
being
away
vegan,
everything else.
the food definitely is a bigger thing because me being vegan, it's a little bit harder. I just can't eat everything. So if
Yeah.
there's a pre-made, like actually like home cooked meal that is all vegan, that's pretty sick. Because
Hell yeah.
I don't need a lot of creature comforts. Like I can sleep on a floor. I'm fine with doing a baby wipe shower if I need to.
Yeah.
But having somebody make me food from scratch that I can eat is pretty awesome.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. For sure.
Vegan on tour is tough, dude. I mean,
yeah, I mean I've been vegan for 8 or 9 years at this point, so I know how to do it, and I know where to go, what to do, how to substitute stuff. So it doesn't feel difficult for me anymore, but I definitely just can't go anywhere and get wherever I want. And some countries it's easier than others. Like some of the Eastern European countries, sometimes it's a challenge. Or South America wasn't too bad, but then we were also getting a lot of hospitality down there anyway, where the venues would bring us stuff, so we didn't have to suffer, or I didn't have to go looking. Plus, our sound woman at the time, Mel Cleel, she's vegan. Our photographer Vincent was vegan. I'm trying to remember if there's anybody else in our crew that was, but so either way, it wasn't only me, so that made it a little bit easier too.
To bring it to Charlie just for a second, in Oahu, there's a place called the Beatbox Cafe. Have you ever heard of that, Charlie?
Beatbox Cafe? No.
I'm too dumb to tell you where it is. It's North Shore, but I don't know what city.
If it's North Shore, then it's North Shore.
Yeah.
Pretty much that.
And Beatbox Cafe is there, and when I was doing my vegetarian vegan combo, sometimes I would blow it and go vegetarian, but I tried to keep it vegan. But Beatbox Cafe was one of the places in my life where if I had somebody serving me this every day, it would be so easy.
So how long ago was that?
The last time I've been there within the last maybe pre-pandemic was the last time I went, actually. Oh, maybe.
The only reason I ask is because especially on Oahu, restaurants just come and go.
So this is the thing.
Fast.
Let me tell you about that. And I understand what you're saying. And yes, this place may not be there, but they started in the back of a health food store, right? Okay. When I went there the first time searching for places that were high quality, vegan, vegetarian, whatever, I found this place and I was like, that's where I'm having lunch. And when I went there, it was small, literally the size, smaller than a 7-Eleven health food store. And then you walk back to the back and 2-3 tables that maybe might fit 6 people max, and there you could watch the people cook your food there, and they open the back door and they got a whole garden of fresh stuff growing in the backyard, and you're just
that's what's
as
up.
a person who loves that farm to table type feel
That's
where
literally backyard to table.
yeah, so that was sick. So I had a couple of years where I went back there and they were there, and there was this one year that I went and it was a different place back there. And I was like, where did it go?
Did they just move or?
So yeah, I just went to the front of the health food store. I was like, there used to be a Beatbox Cafe back here. Where did it go? And they said they moved up and they went up the road a little bit. And then I went there and it was a place that had 20, 25 tables.
At least they went that
people,
direction.
10 people in the kitchen cooking when it was just 2 people before. So I feel like that place is still there. I actually want to look it up to see if it's open now
That's
that we
cool.
brought this up.
I feel like it, not that it wasn't socially acceptable to be vegan or vegetarian, but it's just a lot more people are doing it, I guess.
It is easier now, definitely.
Yeah, it's easy. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, at least within the past 7 or 8 years, especially.
Yeah. There have been very few cities I've gone to where I wasn't able to find anything easily. You know, some cuisines are a little bit easier to veganize than others, but 9 times out of 10, wherever I've been able to find somewhere or something.
Alex, I have to ask you. So, when I first found out that you were vegan, I heard a story that when you first went vegan, you didn't know what to eat, so you carried around a bag of just bananas everywhere you went.
That's not totally true like that. However,
yes, it is.
No. Hold on. You interrupted me. It's not that perfect. There we go. It's not that I didn't know what to.
Hey, where's Joel?
Yeah, right. Maybe this is how we get him to come on the podcast.
Yeah. Joel isn't here because he became vegan and he just carried around a bag of bananas.
That's right.
He's too busy eating
and OD'd on him, dude.
So yeah, it's not that I didn't know what to eat, but I just like bananas. And I mean, that would be that was a kind of big. It still is kind of a staple of my diet. And at that point, my wife Jamila was raw vegan, so she would have to only eat like uncooked vegetables and fruit and whatever. And so we had
tough, man.
It's very tough, and your life has to kind of center around that if you're going to do it. So we would go to these places called produce terminals, where it's basically the middleman between the farm and like the grocery store or the school or the prison or whatever, and you buy in bulk from them. So we would buy like a 40-pound box of bananas for like $15. And so because we have all this stuff, we would be eating a lot of it.
Yeah, you have to eat that
freeze
really quickly because
we would freeze some of them. Dude, there would be days where I'd eat like 10 to like 30 bananas or something.
Damn.
I've been like super addicted to bananas lately. Like I was telling the guys this last week. I ran out of bananas this week, and it's been very noticeable.
Oh man,
I eat my dried mangoes, like the snacks, of course.
Hell yeah,
and bananas, and then I drink coffee. That's like what I do, and it's like
I'm still drinking coffee right now, and it's like 10, 11.
Yeah, I can drink coffee all day too.
I am not drinking coffee, but yeah.
Speaking of bananas, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
If you're going to talk about bananas, you can interrupt.
Yeah, bananas. So where I grew up in Hawaii, I got spoiled eating apple bananas.
Oh, dude, I knew you were going to bring them up. They're the best, dude.
Yeah. I don't know what that is, but it sounds amazing.
If you have never had an apple banana before, and then you have one, you'll never want to eat a regular banana.
They're like
again.
They're like half of a regular banana. And when they're ripe, dude, it literally tastes like you're eating apples and bananas in one thing.
They're sweeter. They feel less starchy. Like, they're smaller but tastier.
Yeah, like you guys all have regular bananas. I only got an apple banana going on over here. You know, it's like
Yeah,
is
and
it
you
like a
can't get
Hawaiian
them here.
thing or
half the
something?
size.
Oh, it's
Dude.
only
Yeah.
Hawaii.
It's smaller,
But
but it's way sweeter.
It's way sweeter, dude.
It's just, I think it's just a tropical thing.
It is, dude,
never
and I
even-
only came across it in Hawaii because and another thing that I came across in Hawaii that I'd never seen before in my life was kiwi berries.
Oh,
Kiwi
dude.
berries.
Kiwi berries, they're
Yeah,
the
I've
size.
had them here in Baltimore before.
They're the
I'm
size
sure they
of
were shipped in.
blueberries, but they're mini kiwis, and they taste
Yeah.
just like
What?
kiwis, but they're
What?
just, dude, it's amazing.
That sounds good.
They're so good.
Tropical fruits are
Are
the
they
shit,
fuzzy?
dude.
Like, can you eat the skin, or is it all? I mean,
Yeah, you know, you pop them just like
Oh
blueberries.
man, they're adorable.
Oh, dude,
They're
I eat
so
them.
tiny.
I don't give a
Dude.
fuck.
Yeah, look at that. They look like grapes. You know.
Yeah,
Yeah, dude.
dude, they're so good.
Oh shit!
So
they
Damn.
good, dude.
kiwi grape.
If you can get your hands on some kiwi berries, eat
Dude.
them up, dude.
Oh my
Dude,
god!
I've gotten them in Baltimore. I mean, at some of the farmers markets that are
Where-
around here.
Are
Yeah,
they
Jamila
around
and I
here?
have gotten them.
Must be. What the fuck?
Yeah.
What am I doing, dude?
Dude, exotic fruits,
My life
eat
is
them up,
crazy.
dude.
All right,
Yeah.
I gotta find this, dude. That one looks wow.
Dude, in your oatmeal in the morning, dude, some kiwi berries.
Yeah,
dude?
whenever I go
Come
back
on.
and visit my parents, that's one of my main activities. Just eating as many types of fruit as I can
Totally,
dude.
dude.
Awesome.
I love it.
I dig it.
And actually, while we were talking, I looked. The Beatbox Cafe now has 2 locations, dude. They've expanded into
Oh, they're just
multiple
growing.
locations,
Nice.
dude.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Good for them.
Kailua
Mhm.
and excuse me, HALEIWA.
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 So which one is
Close enough.
North Shore? Which one's
Haleiwa is more North Shore than Kailua is
Okay,
East
so-
Side.
okay?
That's
But
where I grew up.
Kailua is still kind of North Shore. No,
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 It's,
that's southeast
yeah.
of the island actually. So then that means that the sorry, I'm gonna mess it up again. Say it again.
Haleiwa.
Haleiwa.
Yeah, Haleiwa.
Haleiwa is the OG original, well, not original location, but the expansion out of the health food store. But dude, they have a veggie burrito that is so bomb with this peanut sauce that is so crazy, dude, and it comes with a mango salsa. Oh fuck.
Veggie burrito.
My mouth's starting to water right now.
So I wanted to tie this in while there was still tour talk. So
To get back on topic.
kind of didn't. Yeah,
Anyways, yeah,
this is-
back to
this is my role on the pod sometimes.
Can we talk
Um,
about bananas?
I think we're done with bananas for now. I thought that's what Joseph was saying.
So you guys did 3 shows. Was that was Wormhole you guys played with, or what was the tour?
It was Gorod, Wormhole, and Hoff.
Oh yeah, okay. So I saw that tour here in LA. Great tour.
Yeah, we were just on the first 3 shows of it.
Yeah.
Those were actually my first shows.
With the band.
I was gonna say
well,
he keeps saying they were his first shows, but he's played like a bunch. Like I've seen him play like a bunch of jazz gigs.
Well,
he's
so
not-
me and Charlie, like the first gigs that we did together were jazz gigs. So like I met Charlie through the college that he went to. I used to teach at. Max even went to for a little while. So that was kind of this like central hub for a lot of us.
Yeah, and I watched you do some stand-up bass stuff.
Sure.
with
So
those
like
bands.
the first gigs that I actually played with Charlie were jazz gigs.
Yeah.
We did that a lot. Like we recorded a record of Charlie's music, played gigs all over Baltimore. So yeah, I mean he's done that. But I think like what you were saying, Charlie, that was your first metal gig
yeah.
in a long time. Like basically,
Since, probably like since 2009.
yeah,
Wow.
because you had
And
just
that
been
was-
doing other stuff.
fair.
That was with my high school metal band. You know,
What kind of metal was it?
I don't know. I don't really want to talk about it.
No,
Come
you
on, you brought it up now. Come on.
I don't even know what.
I was
now
in
we
a,
wanna
I was in
know.
a rap new metal band, and I just heard
No,
a song
okay, it wasn't-
recently.
No
I just
shame
heard
here.
a song recently, and I still have shame in my performance. So,
All right,
I've
so
mentioned that band on the show many times.
I
So
had
go
dinner
for it.
real
dude.
quick. I had dinner with my friend last night, who I was in a band with when I was 13, and he was the drummer, and I played guitar.
Yeah.
We're called the Super Pilots, dude.
Sick. Casey, you're a sick
Yeah.
guitarist. I've seen video. I've seen you play guitar.
No, thank you. I said,
A lot of the solos on Synesthesia are Casey.
yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah. So you're about to say, Sarah?
Uh,
I interrupted, so I feel.
I don't know. It was probably just like if you had to classify it, just like an In Flames ripoff.
Oh, the band in high school.
Nice.
That's
I,
sick.
I was in one of those.
Hey,
see?
yeah,
That's sick. I think that's
everybody's
sick.
got one. Yeah,
Everybody's got one, and I think that's at that time to go for the In Flame sound is it's a
popular one, yeah.
not just a popular one, but it's not an easier one either. So that is a goal that it's like a bar set pretty high already at that age, you know.
I always thought of like the
Yeah.
at the gate sound. So what's the difference between like the at the gate sound and the In Flame sound? Is there much difference?
Yeah,
Is there?
Like
They're,
In-
they're
in
different
19
sounding bands, but they're.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
they would still both be categorized as melodic death metal.
Melodic.
I guess.
like
Yeah.
Slaughter of the Soul doesn't sound like any. I mean, there might be riffs on Slaughter that sound like In Flames esque, but
I mean, they're
wouldn't
both
say
in
that.
B standard. They're both from Sweden. They use the dugat, like the 6/8 skank
Yeah.
beat a lot.
I'm just curious, like whatever you prefer, like either band. Like I'm just curious, like which, because I don't know a lot about that stuff. I like it, but what like band came first, and then which one is
At the Gates, right?
I feel like I feel like At the Gates are kind of considered more like the OGs of that.
Okay.
Yeah.
got it? Okay, cool. Yeah, and then after that, is it members of that did In Flames? I can't remember.
No, the At the Gates
okay.
dude went on to do the Haunted.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what it is. The Haunted. Yeah.
I think there was some dark.
What's the chick singer band that Arch Enemy? There's also an At the Gates
Melissa
guitar player.
Gossa, or is that's
Well,
the
that was
old
Angela.
chick?
Angela Gassa was the first one,
Yeah,
Mhm.
or the first woman singer.
Yeah, I fucked
Their
with
first
Arch Enemy
album had a dude.
super hard. Yeah, they had
That's
3
right,
records
yeah.
with Johan Leva. Yeah.
Okay, I didn't realize it was 3. I knew the first singer was actually a dude, but I couldn't remember if it was.
Yeah, the first
Dude,
singer was the dude, but the chick that replaced him, she was actually crazy.
Angela.
She came through the pound and she was talking about how she was a cop and all this kind of shit. I was like, whoa.
I
She's
think
screaming
she
at
was
me,
still managing
and
the band.
I would not want to be pulled over by her, dude.
Right.
Yeah, she still
Wasn't Matt
manages.
Barlow a cop too? The singer of Iced Earth wasn't Matt Barlow? Wasn't he a cop for a little while? Also,
That I can't confirm, but
I think he
Sound-
was.
I mean, they're probably, they're all over the place. I think Guy from Red Cord has some correctional job that he does. I don't know if he's a full, I don't know.
But man, that era of melodic death metal, they had such sick guitar solos. Arch Enemy with Michael and Chris Ammett trading off.
Yeah.
That was a sick
dude.
era.
Yeah.
It was like I really can't fuck with like Megadeth that hard because I was so used to the melodic death metal
Mm.
version of that style where you have the virtuoso guitar solos, but the core sound was just downtuned and heavy. It made it kind of
Right.
hard to go
Yeah.
back a little bit.
Yeah, man.
Oh, it's
I'm
just
unashamed in my love for Children of Bodom.
Yeah, I was
Exactly,
just about to bring
Oh
that
yeah,
up.
that was
Children
big
of
on
Bodom.
us. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Out of all of those bands, they were probably my favorite.
But they were kind of like a little
Yeah.
later. Like, I don't know. If I consider
live in Tokyo.
I wanted one of those guitars that Alexi Laiho had.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
bad.
my friend did have one. Yeah.
Joseph and I saw that shit at Oslo.
Really?
Dude.
Oh fuck, we did. Yeah,
2017,
Children played.
I think.
yeah. Oh,
Dude, we high
late
five.
gig.
You high five?
Oh yeah. It was-
Wow.
that was like the best band of the day for me almost. Like, I mean, Suffo played, that was pretty sick too. With fucking Kev Mueller coming out and then Frank.
That's
moving on.
sick.
That was so
Shout out
sick.
Kev.
But yeah, but Children of Bodom was they played the main stage, remember?
Mm-hmm.
And it was like so cool. I was like, what?
That was a weird Ozfest lineup, but they
It
were
was
one of
weird.
the few good
Every
metal.
Ozfest is weird.
But on
Yeah.
guitar solos, are you guys both credited with guitar leads on the Exist stuff, or does one of you kind of do all the
think-
leads?
I think it's even.
I
Okay.
actually no, I only played one solo on the whole album.
Really?
Yeah,
I guess
Come
I
on,
played
Charlie.
two.
Charlie
let's
played. I guess there's only really 4. There's 5 if you count Weber playing a bass solo.
Yeah, that's right. That I kind of like strong-handed my way into because like
Yeah,
I
He
made
kinda
this
did.
I made this
Nice.
Instagram post because of the tune that has the bass solo on it. I liked the chord changes a lot, and just as sort of a jab to like make fun of bass getting no respect and no treatment, I just did like a bass solo over this thing, like kind of making a joke like, "Oh, I wish I could have a solo on this," and then Max heard it and was like, "Actually, that could
I was
be,
like, that's actually
that
better
could be
there.
kind of
Yeah.
tight."
Really
That's
cool, yeah.
actually sick, dude.
Yeah,
That's
gotta
rad.
force my way in there.
Well,
Passive
that-
aggressive as fuck.
I love
See,
it. That's my MO,
that's cool.
dude.
So
Sanjay,
with the
yeah.
writing process with the band, obviously for something like that to happen, everybody's kind of open to certain criticisms and praises when they bring something to the table, right? Because a lot of bands, there's just one sole songwriter. So when you have a collaborative experience like you guys may have had, to see, for Max to see you just do something like that jokingly on social media and it spark a new idea for this
Yeah.
album, that is what it's all about, dude. Like
Sure.
things, as long as you stay true, I'm gonna do my David Lynch thing right now. As long as you stay
Wait,
true
can
to
you
the
say
original,
it in
Yeah,
his
you
voice?
got to say it like to stay true.
as long as you stay true to your original idea, then and you stay in love with it, you got to do the hands too. You got to as long as you stay in love with your idea and you stay true to it, it doesn't matter what happens in the end, because basically the journey, you don't know the what's coming in the journey of making this idea a thing. You just have the original idea, the seed. You plant it, you flower, and you water it, and you watch it grow. And as guys who play gods with their green thumbs, they manipulate their plants to, kind of like a bonsai tree situation where you can manipulate this thing into what you envisioned it to be. Yes, I am drunk. You guys put that thing down there, but I'm still, even though I'm drunk, I know what I'm talking about right now.
I was
and
gonna say that was
it's
really well said.
the metaphor
it
is there,
was well
dude.
said. It was well said.
Yeah.
It was
Good. I just
was
feel like
beautiful.
I'm stumbling on my words now while I'm trying to
killing
get
it.
But here's the thing:
yeah.
it doesn't pay the bills,
Nope.
and it's a big crock of shit in the real world.
But there's a different
grow up.
paycheck. You get a different paycheck from it. The
The emotional
paycheck,
paycheck.
I know.
It is.
I know.
it's a spiritual paycheck.
We
Paycheck.
yeah, I don't know. With that kind of thing, I guess it was just it was one of those little inconsequential things where it was just he played it and it just was it made sense and it wasn't like something I had been thinking of otherwise, but it so
Yeah.
I guess we're trying to kind of leave space kind of for those things too, or like when I write, I'm trying to kind of leave space for the other instruments, and I feel like on this album we had a pretty good I don't know. There were some things that worked out nicely with that. Like there was space for Charlie to kind of come in afterwards and do this soundscaping stuff, and then sort of intentional space left for the drums and the bass to sort of. And I guess maybe we know how we, to some extent, like I think we all know how each other, like we know how we play, and we sort of know, we have kind of general guesses to how so and so is going to react. So it makes it maybe a little easier to leave space for the other players now, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, Max has always been really open to like baseline suggestions for things that I brought in, because sometimes I might come up with a line or a thing that's kind of counter to what was originally there, or just have my own idea for something. And he's always been pretty open to accepting that kind of stuff, sort of like this solo idea thing. So yeah, like Max was saying, I think we kind of know how each other plays and approaches stuff, and we're just open to the possibility of things changing. You know, it's not always this like 100% rigid thing that you know, Max will pretty much always bring in these almost completed song forms.
Yeah, that's actually something I wanted to talk about. The
Yeah.
way Max writes songs, it's just, there's the song. It goes like this, and it's like almost entirely written just like when he brings it to us.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's always kind of blown me away, because when I first met them, I was writing kind of like a stream of consciousness style, just like, and trying really hard to tie ideas back to
Like riff
other
soup,
things.
riff soup,
Yeah.
as they call it. Yeah.
And just to see Max like have this whole idea from start to finish pretty much sketched out just kind of blew my mind.
That's cool.
And Anthony's gone.
Yeah, guys. So that's amazing. So like, you know, how's that working going forward with the new material? And you know, how's the element betwing the three of you
No,
guys?
he wouldn't ask another question. He would.
Could
he
you
would
could you
explain.
do the like? Could you
Like
do
that-
the voice as him as David Lynch?
Oh, I can't. Yeah, man. That reminds me of what I was joking.
He just passed out and is asleep on the floor now.
Oh shit.
He's looking for his.
Shh, shh, everyone be quiet.
Where-
Shh, shh.
Do you have something to say for yourself?
I do, dude. I had to pee so bad, dude.
How dare you?
So it was my bladder was.
Bucket, dude. Come on.
I went from an any belly button to an outie belly button just from my bladder being full, dude.
Respect.
Well, welcome back, dude.
I'm back.
Well, what it sounds like is you guys have like good chemistry together as a band. It seems like you're all friends and
I'd say
good
so.
guys.
I think
Yeah.
so. This was like
Charlie,
this
I
was a
don't
very
know.
fun album to make.
I was gonna say Charlie's like a Vaughn situation. He came from the jazz into the extreme metal realm.
I don't
know,
think it's
man.
quite as extreme as Vaughn, because I mean, Charlie,
Yeah.
you had always been into
Yeah,
metal.
like I
okay.
didn't like writing
Oh yeah,
shit
you
on
had
my
the
own.
In Flames thing, but
The
still.
Vaughn
Well, I
thing
mean,
is
even
crazy.
after that.
Yeah, the
We,
vibe.
we met Vaughn the first time he came out to a
Yeah,
Defeated
the
Sandy
night
show,
that his
and
death metal
we
cherry.
never heard anything
Yeah.
like that, and he had like that was the moment of like we were kind of there at the beginning of that, and it was
Yeah, so
So-
like we come back to the merch table after Max and I, we come back to the merch table after our set is over, and Vaughn comes up to us like fucking wide-eyed and completely blown away, and was talking to us and telling us that he came with Ben Monder, and then both of us were like, "What the
yeah,
fuck?"
Ben Monder brought him to the show.
Yeah, Ben
Yeah.
Monder, this amazing improvising, jazz guitarist, brought him to the show, and that's what
yeah.
popped his death metal cherry, and now he's doing what he's doing. But just the fact that like I'm so
So
glad I
cool.
didn't know that Ben was at the show while we were playing, because that would have out so much more.
Yeah, so I guess with the metal history, I still felt the like you guys meeting in the jazz realm and then bringing
Sure.
him into the extreme metal realm kind of has some kind of crossover there. That's
Oh sure, I mean
There's
I've played more
definitely-
jazz gigs
yeah.
with Charlie than I've played metal gigs with him. So there definitely
Yeah.
is some of that in there.
that's
That's
rad,
true.
dude.
There's definitely a lot of crossover. Like
It is.
especially
dude.
the deeper you go into
Yeah.
the jazz world, like
Oh,
the
dude.
less different the genres become. You know what I mean?
I'm not a musician at all, dude. Yes, I can play I Wish You Were Here, but
Still haven't heard it, so I don't.
Learn-
believe
Just
No.
learn confirmation and play that shit all the way through.
in all seriousness, the
It's like,
extreme metal stuff that I've, just feeding on for so many years has unintentionally given me some kind of language to understand extreme, technical jazz
Totally.
and that also took me down the path of improvisation and not necessarily the rules, but the blueprints of improvisation, and kind of can tell when I listen to a band that is improving in certain areas. I know I can find my way through those songs easier
Sure.
because of what I learned listening to all these other technical styles of music.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize that would happen, but now jazz is one of my favorite styles of music to listen to, and the rhythm section is now pretty much my favorite thing to listen to in everything that I listen to now.
The cool thing is it's like one style of we talked about this again, I think last week, where it's like one style of just like just straight up jazz kind of thing, or bebop stuff, whatever, and then like, or hard bop, whatever, and then like going off into like fusion jazz shit, like all the Al Di Meola stuff, and all those crazy drummers like went and did that shit too, and like, dude, like Lenny White and all that stuff, and then fucking all the
Tony
fucking
Williams.
yeah, Tony Williams, yeah, fucking, and they all did 17.
Oh man, Lilith just posted about Tony Williams today.
Oh, I know, I
Yeah.
saw that.
Tony is
about
like
that.
his hero.
Yeah.
Of course you did.
Tony Williams.
Of course that man did that.
Yeah.
I remember Tim Young talking about Tony Williams like 30 years ago or whatever, 20 something. I was just like, whoa. He was just like, that was so cool. Like Tim
Absolutely
Young,
wild.
badass metal drummer. He's just like, yeah, dude, Tony Williams. You know, it's like you gotta. I mean, drummers already are like trying to be like, yeah, Buddy Rich, you know, or whatever, or like, you know, but like, it's like, dude, the music is all part of it, like the respect of all of it, like jazz, even classical, all, of course, like everything influences all this stuff, and what we extreme death metal, all that's all, it's all connected, dude. It's not really that separate, you know, it's all influenced in different ways. And Robert Fripp, we're talking about King Crimson and that like influence and all the dissonant like runs and things, and like dude, Al Di Meola, dude, Mike Gilbert is like an Al Di Meola fanatic and can play all that stuff.
Me and him one night, we were hanging in the upper lounge in the bus, and he was just playing a bunch of like Al Di Meola.
Oh yeah,
that's his
sick, stuff like that is fucking awesome.
That's his idol, dude, and he's the one who fed it all to me too, you know, and I'm so grateful to be able to meet all of these people, collaborate with all these people, and get to absorb their influences through stuff that they feed us through, burn discs like we were talking about, or, you know, whatever. And I think that that's kind of a level up we have on in certain ways in the underground death metal, or just metal. I don't want to say death metal, but just now it's just technical metal, you know. The underground, once you get to this level, everybody kind of wants to build up the whole thing. So if I can pass something to somebody else that will enhance their, you know, add to a little bit of their battery that they're charging up while they, you know, keep digging down to find what they're trying to find. It's a gratifying feeling to be like the person who gives Spawn of Possession to the friend that now was obsessed with Spawn of Possession after that.
Sure.
And yeah, I don't really know where else I was going with that, but
no, that's huge though.
It is. And we have that, you know, that brotherhood type situation and sisterhood. And I now seeing a lot more sisters pop up in the metal community. A lot of people are fans and contributing and showing me I need to get the fuck back on the mic because these chicks are blowing me out of the water right now.
Oh hell yeah.
Like Cheney is just a force, dude, and I just can't look at her and not be like, what the fuck are you doing with yourself right now, dude? That's literally how I feel when I look at her. Like, she's amazing.
Yeah, she has so much energy on stage.
Yeah, totally, dude. So it makes me so proud that, like, because, you know, we didn't see as much of that. There was the singer of Sinister. She was the female vocalist for a while, or arch enemy that we mentioned earlier, but you didn't see it as much, and now it's starting to.
Dana Costley, Cynic had a female growler for a moment during
right,
Focus,
dude.
Yeah,
and it was like a few and far between thing, and now I start to think that the percentage of female influence to the metal community is growing, and it's actually adding to it so much to further this thing along. That's what we're all doing, dude. It's just this one big machine that we keep feeding, and metal's not going to stop. It's not going to stop. We're all of us right now talking about this. We're all going to pass away, and metal will still be there. You know what I'm saying?
Hope so.
Hell,
I didn't want to make it negative when I said that, but after we're gone, hopefully our bands still are talked about. But if not our bands, metal's still going to be talked about. You know,
that's not going anywhere.
it isn't, dude. Which,
Pretty
by the way,
wild to think.
now that you're pulled up main thing, I'm gonna put you on the spot and just say congratulations on your marriage, Alex.
Oh, hey, thanks, dude.
Yeah.
yeah,
hell
dude. You got married in the last couple of months,
High
right?
five.
Yeah, at the end of February.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
I've been, like I said, I'm a lurker, so I'm always watching you guys, even though
From
I
the
might be
shadows.
I might be hearting your guys' stuff. I don't really comment too much, but I'm still watching you guys. And
Yeah, I'm actually still drinking liquor that we have left over from the wedding because
Nice.
we got a bunch of this like bourbon and brandy that we made some of our special drinks with that we're still kind of finishing off like 3-4.
all the leftovers from
Yeah.
Well, you always that actually shows that you guys were ready to party and made sure that it was right, because you always want to have the leftovers versus run out before the party's over, you know?
Yeah, I mean, we didn't have a huge wedding or anything, so it's not like we had to buy a ton of stuff, but we didn't have a lot left over, but we had enough that we're still kind of digging into it. Like,
yeah, no matter how many people are going to show up, you just want to make sure that everybody's going to have their fill.
Yeah, hell yeah.
And then, yeah. But that's cool, dude. Yeah, marriage is awesome, dude. And I'm happy for you, and good luck to your next several years that you're gonna have with your wife, dude.
I think a couple coming up.
Yeah,
At least 2 or 3.
At least a couple. Yeah. Yeah, I hope so.
No, that's rad, dude.
Yeah, thanks, man.
And now I'm gonna put you on the spot. You guys talking about kids or?
It's been something that's come up a little bit more recently.
Yeah.
I mean, both of us work more like alternative type career, so it was never a thing that was always going to be maybe easy to do.
It's not in the equation currently.
Yeah. It's. I mean, she's been talking about it a little bit more, and I'm definitely not against it. But with me touring a lot, that doesn't make it easier, and that's something I genuinely like doing. So I don't think that's gonna stop anytime soon.
The challenge is to have your cake and eat it.
Yeah, right.
That's the
100%. Yeah. So it's
Yeah.
like there were certain things like that where I wouldn't want to just go off on tour and then leave Jamila with all of the responsibility.
Yeah,
that's
why I stopped touring.
Yeah, exactly. So it's something that like I didn't want to do that to her, and she has to really want it in that case. But it so it's not something that's off the table. We've been talking about it more, but it's not something we're going to be jumping into in the immediate future at all.
How often do you tour? Like, what percentage of the year would you say you're on the road?
Well, I mean, last year was the busiest year that I had, and I was maybe gone for 4 or 5 months, maybe.
Yeah, that's a
Somewhere.
big chunk, dude.
That's
yeah.
wild.
Yeah,
touring
and
that long.
especially the beginning of the year, it was like back-to-back thing. Like I did that tour with Malignancy in January. I was home for about a week. Then I went and did 70,000 tons with Obscura, came home for about a week. And then I did that North American tour with Obscura, which was like almost like 2 months long. So for basically the first almost 4 months of the year, I was basically gone.
Now that you brought it up, now I gotta ask, because I like to go on cruises, and 70,000 tons has always been something that I was compelled to go on.
Just
but
get your bands on there. Just get
Dude,
Severed
yeah,
Savior
get
on.
Severed
You could probably get Severed Savior on there.
Hell yeah, dude.
So I don't know if I would go as a guest. But I definitely enjoyed playing and being there, and
Yeah.
like
Why?
Max was doing it with Cynic. So
What makes you say that you wouldn't go as a guest?
Well, for one, 70,000 tons is kind of
expensive.
Yeah, well, it's expensive, yeah, because like the tickets are like $2,000 or something like that just to like be there, and then you got to pay for flights and hotels before.
And you got to buy all your drinks once you're on the ship.
And it's
Oh,
really
sucks.
easy to throw money away because you have like your room key card that you pay everything with.
Yeah.
So of course they've got like little vendors and carts all throughout the cruise ship. So it's so easy to just hand your card over and be like, all right, give me a drink, give me a drink.
And not worry about the bill at the end of the week.
Say again?
We had a tour manager who worked around that.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
I mean, I ended up spending less money than I thought I would, but I could definitely see if you're like really in party mode, where you could throw a lot of money away. But it, on top of it being expensive, it's also billed really like a Euro festival where there's a lot of power metal and heavy metal and folk metal and that kind of thing. And there were a lot of bands on at least the one that we did, that were bands that I wouldn't have really cared to see that much. Like I was really stoked to see Wormed. Wormed was absolutely my favorite band of the boat. Got to stand like side stage, like right next to them and watch the whole set. It was super cool. So like Wormed, I mean, Cynic, Fallujah. Who else was on?
So I mean, so let's talk about when there's a band on stage that you didn't really want to see. What kind of other?
Can you list the bands that you didn't want to see? Can you name names of the bands?
I can name a couple of names, but as long as they're censored out after that.
Well, we don't do editing, dude. So maybe you just keep it. Just do your own beeps.
Well, so definitely, yeah, exactly. So I hated beep and beep really sucked. And but
my question was, all right, there was bands that you might not want to see. Is there other stuff going on the ship that you could go do during those sets? That
it was sick as fuck. We had we had like basketball games.
Nice.
We had Exist versus Cynic.
Well, yes, dude. See, and I'd be the guy on the side. I'd be like, "What's his name?" I can't figure out his name right now. But I'd be the guy on the side, just
Christian Musner both you guys on. Christian was the guy on the side.
Yeah. Max and I were racing on the water slides to see which
we were racing on the water
slides.
Yeah, dude.
Which one was actually fastest? So we would like swap and like try to like really test out like which water slide was actually.
We also got into this dilemma where so there was like so they give you these towels at the pool.
Yeah.
And it's like I think you give them like a card or whatever your ship card is.
Like you check them out. Check it out.
Right. So they so basically they give you I guess it's like if you lose the towel, they charge you like $8 or something like that. So you guys, so Brandon Giffen was my roommate, and then do you guys know LSAO from Abysmal Dawn?
LSAO?
Well, everybody calls him Alicio, but it's actually LSAO.
Yeah.
No.
Anyway,
we know, yeah.
No, we haven't had the bass player. We just had is it Charlie?
Yeah, we know Charles, but
Charles, yeah.
Oh, Charles
I know those guys a long time. I'm just trying to on so many people. I just
Is that the dude with the purple guitar? No,
I don't know.
Okay,
I don't remember
Charles.
Forget I said anything. Please continue.
Anyway, they lost their. It's not a great story. They lost their towels. So then we realized like they didn't want the like charges for the towels. So we had to like come up with this whole operation where we would go and steal towels from people that were at the hot tub while they weren't looking. So that then we could so that then we could return their towels, And it was like, and first you do it just so that, and by the way, I didn't lose my towel. I just wanted to lose mine. I just wanted to feel alive. That's right. That's all it was for me, but next thing you know, it's like you get your towel back and so they're not worried about getting charged. but the adrenaline rush is just so
dude,
fucking addictive.
you're given a mission. You're given a mission.
Hey, right.
And then
So next thing you know, it's about making money off of stealing towels. It's not just about making sure you don't lose money. So like there's stuff like that on there's like
long story
things-
short, there's always something to do.
there's some stuff to do.
yeah. And that's what's up, dude. And
So
that,
if you like cruising, it's worth it. I mean,
You
it's
had
fun.
you had me at 2 water slides.
I'm gonna
I would,
try.
I would say this. I would say this.
dude.
I feel like it's like collectively the happiest group of people I've seen.
Yeah.
Just
We
because there's-
out in the sun, fucking.
Well, yeah, and there's sort of this like, because I'd imagine. I mean, I've never been on another cruise. I've done that one twice, but I would imagine it's a lot of just kind of like Walmart people.
Yeah, just like a regular cruise that you're stuck with a hodgepodge of people.
Of
but
like
when there's
random
a-
people.
When there's a theme to the cruise, then
Right.
I mean,
and
dude,
you're-
it's a metal festival that goes from 10 a.m. in the morning until 5 or 6 in the morning.
and all of us enjoy
day.
being at a festival and you know, just chopping it up with people
Totally.
and so that becomes the whole thing. No, I totally get it, dude.
And so
And-
even
and
if it was
then-
a band I didn't care to listen to,
Which
or
by the
band-
way, which one?
so Bleep was one I didn't like, and Bleep was another one that I didn't really care.
And bleep bleep bleep.
But yeah, even if it was a band that I didn't necessarily go out of my way to see, just hanging around, talking to people, just watching it, being there was still awesome. So
Was it Nightwish?
yeah, Bleep was definitely that one. And
It was bleep of bleep. And
yeah.
Or was it Dragon Force?
No, see, Dragon Force was fun because
Dragon Force was pretty awesome to watch.
Herman Lee got in the
Yeah.
hot tub with his guitar that he put like a little flotation
It
device
was,
Oh,
it was
man.
pretty entertaining.
what?
go in the
Have you
hot tub and
seen-
his guitar wouldn't sink.
Have you seen some of Herman Lee's stuff that he posts on social media?
A little bit of it.
It's so random and off the wall.
He seems cool as shit.
Yeah,
I
I
actually
want
more
to hang out with
so-
him.
Watched his reaction videos to other people playing Dragon Force stuff.
Oh yeah, there's this video of someone playing like Trombone Hero or something, playing through the fire and flames.
And he's, yeah, that's mind blowing. Yeah.
He was like pretty active with raising money for Jason Becker, wasn't he? Like like he was doing Twitch stuff to kind of raise money
That's
for
sick.
Jason Becker, I think.
What a story Jason Becker is, dude.
Yeah.
If you watch the documentary and you go through his history, it's crazy that what that dude has been through and still with us today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, to be that many years down the road and be diagnosed and you know, given a time and exceeded through that time so much and still making music.
And
Or
having
it-
the will to just be alive given your like physical circumstance.
Dude, and
Atrophic
his
lateral
sense of humor,
sclerosis.
his sense of humor too is still so much, I think, a part of the reason too is how you see him and his dad interact in that documentary and the jokes that they tell back and forth all the time. I was just like, dude, this plus, you know, having a healthy, you know, lifestyle as much as he could for the people who could make that for him, other than drinking some Soylent Green and just fucking dying off like most people with ALS is ALS, right? Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And but yeah, I think that there's this drive that keeps people alive no matter what condition you're in, you know. Same thing as grandparents who get grandchildren. Once they get grandchildren, then their life is automatically extended as long as they stay around those grandchildren.
Yeah.
It's a weird thing.
No, that's a good point. Yeah.
But Jason Becker, yeah, his story has always been an inspiration to me as a non-guitar player, just looking in, but just somebody.
Don't say that about yourself.
Oh yeah, dude, I forgot. I can play some
Still
shit.
waiting for the grand finale.
I gotta start
Yeah.
practicing again.
At some
guys.
point in my life, I'm gonna hear you play that song.
Oh, dude, I'll do. How sick would that be to do it just for the homies?
You
Just
can do a
like-
playthrough video of it.
Yeah, dude. All right. My new goal is to get a hold of a good guitar again. Maybe I'll just go over to Mike. No, I can't go over to Mike's right now, but I'll figure it out, dude. I could. Yeah, I guess I would be much less of a nuisance if I was just playing acoustic guitar in one room versus ooh you know.
But you can only do that for so long. I would imagine. You know, there's a limitation. I'm like in that right now because now I got 2 sets to practice.
Oh yeah, you got
So
like
I have to,
30 songs.
So with the vocals, I have to like alternate them day to day because I can't do that for 3 hours.
Yeah, that's wild, dude.
Jeez.
Yeah, 'cause it's like 2 radically different vocal sounds.
It's 2 different vocal sounds, but it's also just that amount of time. Like it's, I'll destroy my voice if I run, both of those sets in a day. It's like gotta preserve.
What's crazy to me about you, dude, and actually awesome thing is, like we were talking about the resurgence of the 90s and some of these
No, he's got a banana.
Hell yeah.
What?
I've got a bunch of them upstairs. Now you're making me want to go get one too.
Hey
I
man,
think Charlie's going to
Go
get
for
one
it,
right
yeah,
now
go
too.
for it, go for it.
But I was
You
just
only
going to
got-
give you your flowers again, Max. I'm sure I've already did it on previous episodes.
Give him his bananas. Hurry up. Hurry up.
Yeah, I'm going to give you your bunch of bananas.
I
right now.
gotta be honest. I don't like bananas.
Dude, you like my sister? Dude, that's crazy.
I want to like bananas. Everything's like they're healthy.
Yeah.
They're super portable. Like everything about them is convenient. But I think it's because I used to work at this junk company where
Banana
we drive into this like
Cheers.
dump,
Ching, ching.
and so I just have this like trash association smell with it that just I don't know.
I'm
All right.
traumatized. It's okay.
I know it's a mind over matter sort of thing.
It is, dude. I mean, there's not a lot of fiber in them either, so they don't help you poop.
Bananas?
You guys talking
Yeah.
Hell no, dude.
It's
There's
just
not that
starch.
much fiber in that.
Yeah. Hey,
Yeah.
yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Look at now.
Cheers.
I feel left out, but at the same time, you guys get your potassium on, dude.
Hey, DoorDash some bananas.
I was just gonna give Max a little praise because he's just a part of the resurgence of so many cool acts that I loved from the 90s. And if what you've done with Death to All and what you did with Cynic, you made it possible for this newer generation to hear those songs, and you did within your means the best way to reenact those, at least vocals. You definitely got the guitars down, but hearing you with Death to All, and I'm sure we said it the first episode you came on, dude, you're like a Chuck incarnate. There's an essence of Chuck that is in you when I listen to you live with the band, dude. And I just want to thank you for giving not only me an opportunity to hear a Death in the live setting, but also for the younger kids that may have come across that and definitely missed the train on seeing Death.
Thanks, man.
Oh, dude, yeah, you're insane, man.
You're
so good.
I mean, we're of that generation where we never got to see it. Like
Yeah.
when I met Weber, we were, that was like it was like Death and Opeth. Those were like our big, like kind of, like Weber was in a band that played like a cover of The Philosopher, and I ended up playing in that band, too. And like, yeah.
The very first recording I ever did was an EP for that band, and on that we recorded The Philosopher. And I was trying to do like my best Steve impersonation, like learning like the solos that are like at the end of that and trying to like nail it as close as I could. I didn't start playing bass until 2002. So, and even then when I started playing, I was listening to new metal like Mudvayne and System of a Down and Slipknot. So I didn't start listening to Death until probably 2004. So obviously completely missed the boat.
If you threw on the bandana, dude, I think you could pull off a pretty good Steve Giorgio parody, dude. I
Well,
think you
he's
could,
like, you know, almost like a foot taller than me too. So yeah,
dude.
6'4" or something. So I don't know if I could pull that off. At least look
Yeah.
wise.
It's crazy to see that dude that tall, you know, and just shred that bass, wear his sandals or Birkenstocks, whatever he's wearing, dude,
Or no
or
shoes.
barefoot, or
Yeah,
barefoot.
both him and Gene are like 6'6" or something crazy. They're both like
Big dudes.
I'm a 5'8" motherfucker, so I'm looking at all those dudes like this.
Right.
It's nice to meet
Yeah.
you guys.
Hell yeah, dude. Yeah, man. I mean, like what Anthony was saying, dude, Max. I mean, like, known this for a long time, but yeah, dude, you just like command up on the stage, man. It's fucking so crazy. I don't know how you do it.
just trying to, I don't know, just try to pay attention to the details, you know.
Yeah, I saw DTA when they came to Baltimore last time, and that was pretty wild. Looking up on stage and seeing Max there, and
Yeah,
it's like
it's a
watching death. That's
Yeah, that was the most fun I had at a concert in a long time. I mean, because
He was like crowd surfing and shit.
yeah.
I mean,
I was like, watch your hands, dude.
yeah, I ended up crowd surfing at a point right when they finished a tune. So like I get to the end, I land in the photo pit and they were done. So all four of them were just staring at me. But yeah, I mean, as a you know, a big fan of that band, that to me is the best lineup of Death, like the best musicians that were in Death. So getting to see that is fucking awesome. And they sound.
I mean, there's a lot. There've been a lot of sick players.
Oh sure,
Yeah.
but at least
Yeah.
be my favorite.
He had very good taste in
Everybody.
guitarists,
Yeah.
you know, and I feel like
Oh,
all
sure.
those guitarists had like very unique voices,
Murphy.
you know. Yeah, like all of them, very like.
They're
I
all
feel like
great.
all those guys you could listen to, you know, just a few phrases and instantly know, you know, like
Did you know what one of my dream guests for this podcast ever?
who's that?
Andy LaRoque.
Oh yeah, hell yeah! I mean,
Yeah.
that guy's insane.
Yeah.
But
Richard
Christie, dude,
Oh,
I
dude,
would
he'd be
love
hilarious.
Richard, dude.
that guy would be insane.
You could probably
man.
get it. You could probably get him.
I don't know how to contact that dude.
I talked to him
but-
like 2 days ago.
Oh,
I don't really know him.
We
but-
just figured out how
probably.
we can contact him, dude.
Who knows? Who
I mean,
knows?
he's on
Pipe
Instagram, but I
dream.
don't know how much he looks at it.
Yeah,
Yeah. Either way, dude. Yeah, he just
That
the
dude would be
Stern history.
I know, he's like
dude,
I know,
you
I know. We used to like, my friend and I used to drive around, like listening to those prank calls of his, you know,
Yeah.
and it was sort of one of those things where we like branched into that from being into Sound of Perseverance, you know. But it was like, yeah, some of those are.
The one where he calls the old lady about like a Craigslist ad or something. but
Yeah.
yeah, dude.
it's 3 voices or whatever,
Yeah,
and she
Yeah,
has
that's one of-
multiple things listed, and he's asking for 3 different items, dude.
Oh, that's right. They're all at the same time. Oh, I forgot about that.
There's
Dude.
also a really
so
good there's a really good episode of Howard Stern where he's got like ICP on there.
Yeah,
And Richard and Sal come out completely naked, but they've like painted their dicks like ICP makeup,
No way.
and they get
Greatest.
super triggered.
I'm
by
sure
it.
they do,
Oh
dude.
yeah.
I remember actually I watched that with Sean Reinhardt actually because we went on this total like 2-day like Juggalo binge where we were just like watching like, you know, just at his house, like watching just
The
watching.
paint's
a ton
not a
of-
joke, dude. It's taken very seriously,
The
dude.
paint,
the
it's a
carnival's
crazy culture.
coming, dude.
right.
Whoop whoop.
That should be our aspiration as a band. Honestly, is to play that, to play the Gathering.
ICP cover.
No, not a cover. To get like exist on like the Gathering.
Yeah.
What?
That would be
Dude,
insane.
There was this festival. So Full Terror Assault. I played that with Malignancy a couple of years ago, and the campground that's at right now is the campground that the meeting of the Juggalos used to happen at, or like the original ones would happen at.
Dude.
And dude, it's in the middle of nowhere. I mean, the area, the town is actually called Cave in Rock, like cave-in-rock, Illinois. And it's like 4.5 hours south of Chicago. So it's like the bottom tip of Illinois. and it's in the middle of nowhere. So like what Max was saying earlier about you like pulling up to a gas station and people are like, "Oh, you're not from here." Totally different. Like, dude, it's so I can't imagine what it would have been like for them when the meeting of the Juggalos would have happened. Like all the people that have been stopping at those gas stations.
Right, yeah.
They're probably like bored of their windows.
Yeah.
I mean,
Uh,
if you think about
They get
Woodstock,
overwhelmed. They just gave up.
Woodstock was like that though too. It's out in
Sure.
bumfuck nowhere. They probably
Too many
played
hippies.
Woodstock. I think they played Woodstock '99, and they probably saw that dynamic, and they're like, "We'll just do our own
Let's
thing."
do this
you know?
every year. Yeah. Yeah.
So technically, we could say the gathering of the Juggalos is the only Woodstock left, guys.
That's
God.
right.
No, it's probably not. But
That's
either
right.
way, seeing exist on a Juggalo gathering would be. It
Just
would be
seems like
amazing,
it just
dude.
seems like a
Perfect.
good aspiration.
Yeah, it sounds great to
It's
me.
like
I would
a
jump
great
into
way,
that.
great way to go out.
I don't think it'll go over well. I just think it's a good idea.
Can you guys get me on the guest list, dude?
100%, dude.
Absolutely.
You probably have to drive like 20 hours to get to it because it's going to be in the middle of nowhere, but we will totally put you on the guest list.
Okay, all right.
Dude, just bring your Juggalo tent and paint
Bring
your
a pallet of Fago and they'll just immediately like,
dude. And that's the entry. Just a pallet of Fago, dude. Have you ever drank Fago?
Yeah,
Has
dude.
anity?
100%.
Yeah.
We got a
I mean,
Was
Alex-
on the bloodletting tour.
one of
It
those
was
tours.
like-
Alex
like,
Alex
I
got a he got a 2-liter bottle of like the orange.
orange
Because there's a bunch
Faygo.
of different flavors, right?
Yeah, the
Yeah,
orange
there's
one is my favorite.
There's a
one.
drive-through market next to my shop that still sells it to this day, dude. And they sell 1 liters, but it's a hit or miss on whether or not they're going to be carbonated.
Oh, because you've probably been sitting around for 15 years.
You buy
Depends on-
one.
right? Depends on the
I've
batch.
tried a couple of them, and 2, 3, whatever. One of them was non-carbonated, dude. It just didn't. It leaked it all out, dude.
It's part of the excitement.
Blue raspberry or cotton candy. That's what's crazy about that. That it's the lowest quality ingredients and will make the craziest flavors, and that's what brings you in,
That's
dude.
the best thing. That's why it's awesome.
Who goes blue raspberry blueberry? What? Blue raspberry blueberry? Why did you need to add the blueberry in there?
More is more, dude.
more,
you smile.
more.
More blue.
Yeah.
Smile and your teeth are all purple. What is this?
Well, guys, I don't know how that you want to go, but
Give an outro music.
I guess we have an outro music this week.
I thought it
dude.
was gonna be him playing guitar, but okay.
well, this is a song Anthony recorded. Actually,
Yeah, dude.
Oh,
Nope.
ah.
My shit would be way better than this, dude.
yeah, the song sucks.
No, I'm just joking. No, this is rad, dude.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Oh yeah, dude.
Totally, dude.
No, this is awesome. No, Joel's sick, and Joseph had to go. And
Let me know if you guys are coming out to any of those shows we're doing next month with DTA.
hell yeah.
Dude,
think
I
there's
would
like-
love to be there,
Oh.
dude.
I know there's
Oh,
like
yeah.
some San Francisco.
Are you guys
and
doing the
There's Santa. I think there's Santa Cruz too.
San Diego?
Max, please. I'll keep in touch on that because I would
Yeah.
love to come see that, dude.
Yeah. Just let me
Come
know.
hang out with you guys. Dig in on Gene. Maybe get Gene on the show, dude. What?
Yeah, you could probably do that. You guys have had Steve, right?
Yeah,
We've already had Steve. Steve is a great guest,
he
dude.
was one of the
You
best.
should get Bobby. You should get Bobby at some point too.
Oh,
Steve
hell yeah.
actually,
Love that.
Steve actually kind of kicked off the legend episodes for this.
Yeah.
I mean, sorry to anybody who was here previously before him, but that episode kind of started kicking it into the higher gear of, oh shit, we can talk to the legends for 4 hours, you know, and dudes who just want to hang out from the old school, and those are the dudes that, and Gene would be a perfect example of that. I would love to sit with Gene on the show, no doubt, dude. So
Amazing. Yes.
yeah, either way, I'm not just coming to the show to see Gene. I'm coming to see you. I got to hang out with you at the Cynic thing in Santa Cruz, dude, and me and Max actually had a little sit down chat one-on-one for quite some time, and I had a great time talking
Yeah,
to
that
you
was
that
cool.
night, dude.
It was real cool.
Yeah, dude. All right, guys. Well,
Oh,
dude, I had a blast tonight.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks again for having us.
Thank you
Always
guys.
I'd love
Oh, yeah.
to
Good
And
times.
Charlie, dude.
promote this
Yeah,
thing
man.
that we made. So
Yes.
So,
And
nice to
Charlie,
meet you guys.
so nice to meet you, Charlie, dude.
Likewise, dude.
Most definitely. And hijacking the zeitgeist is what you guys need to go check out right now, dude, because it is a fun roller coaster of an album, dude. Most
I think
definitely.
it's pretty good.
Yeah, but that sound. Don't listen to the artist that executed it. Listen to the guy who just listened to it, because the artists that execute things, they will not pitch it as well as the person who listened to it. And I want to say that it's a very, very good album, and you guys need to drop what you're doing and go listen to it right now. Go buy a t-shirt too.
Ooh.
awesome. All right, thanks, guys.
Yes.
Later, guys.
And Battle Forge Coffee. Let's do it real quick. Battle Forge Coffee, GeneratorRehearsalStudios.com, CaliDeathPodcast.BigCartel.com. And
Exist.bandcamp.com.
There it is.
Joseph had that banner. And I don't know what fucking happened, dude.
Oh yeah, and we do it on Twitch as always at Twitch, and we also do it on YouTube, and it's everywhere after that.
Dave's hot.
Dave's Hot Tubs, dude, San Diego, dude. I forgot about that one. All right, love you guys. Have a great weekend, and we will see you next week.
Yeah.